It is.
Get that off of there. So how you guys doing out there?
Very, very well, Michael. How are you?
All right. Still kicking, man. It's Saturday. It was quiet last night. We were on the air till 1:30.
Yeah, I booked early. I was starting to fade out, so I went to sleep almost immediately.
I know because we worked before the shows.
Yeah. Sometimes I can do the whole show, and sometimes I start fading out right about 10 minutes before. But last night, it's been pretty hot down here, so it takes a lot
Yeah.
out of you.
Who's that? There we go.
Hey, Leah.
Hey, Leah.
Hi.
I like the new do.
What's that?
Your hair.
Oh, it's a mess.
It looks good.
Thank you.
I thought it was a new hairdo, man. It looks great.
Oh no, same old, same old.
It's like that
Man,
kind of.
looks good. Looks good. Nice color. I think it's looking good up in there, man.
Yeah.
It's great.
It don't look great on my camera. It's blind.
How have you been? How's your week? How's everything going?
Well, same old, same old. It's all right. Nothing to complain about.
That's good. It's always good when you can't complain. I could always complain. I could play non-stop at that.
I've been spending time at the swimming pool.
Well, that's good. Getting some exercise.
No, just laying in the sun.
That's good too.
Oh, you're gonna become a burrito. Okay, I got you.
I've been
I
doing
got
it.
you. You're gonna become a burrito. Yeah, Jeff, it's been so long. Y'all send Leah. That's Leah. In case y'all didn't know who this woman was on the screen with us. It's that's who it is. What are you talking about? Oh, you mean the other shows? No. That was Jen. She's a sci-fi writer. She's actually a nurse. She's a military nurse. She goes out with her thing is deployed to go take care of people. And there was a Marine on with me, an Army guy, and then John and his wife are honorary in charge of the Air Force in California and
Base commander.
That's for Space Command. So we had all the military represented on the Arthur's Quill today.
That's cool.
Yeah. It was a very strange show. What do you mean tonight? Okay, let's see. You're an asshole. He's an asshole. She's an asshole. He's an asshole. That's an asshole. That's an asshole. No, I'm not talking about y'all. I'm talking about other people.
Oh.
Post on thing. No, you know what? I don't. You know what, Marky? I don't have Pal Talk on this computer, so you're not gonna be able to use it. No. I was using the other computer the other night. That's why we could use Pal Talk, but it's not on this computer. Yes. It's a different computer. Yes. I don't always use the same computer to do live shows. Sorry. No, I mean, I want to redevelop Pal Talk. It's a great tool for picking up chat and having people chat with us. But
We used it years ago here on the network. It was great.
yeah, we used to use it all the time way back in the day. Now, we're going to bring it back. We're always looking for different places for people to come in and chat. Look, Mike's the one that started thinking about Tootsie Roll. I did not start that. He did that. He come on that night and said he got a Tootsie Roll.
You see that Tootsie Roll, Tootsie Roll, Tootsie Roll.
Everybody's calling poor. So it's Amber Turd and Sean Tootsie Roll. It's a bit sometimes when you're famous how that shit sticks. I know.
Yeah.
Diddy roll, huh? It's a Diddy roll. It's a Diddy Tootsie Roll.
Why did Diddy get acquitted or whatever? Not acquitted, but not found not guilty for most of the things. Do you think it's because
three out of 5 he got away with?
Do you think that it's because there were other people that would be implicated?
Well,
that were like
so Obama
way more
was
famous?
implicated. Obama was implicated 17 times in this. 17 times. To the freak part. So, so what I want to know was Michael there?
What?
Was Michael there? Michelle, was she there?
Obama
was 17 times. So listen what they said. They said Obama was implicated in this 17 times. Well, she's an Obama too. She's Michelle Obama. He's Barack Obama. They didn't say it was Barack. They just said Obama was implicated 17 times. So what Obama are we talking about? Are we talking about Barack? Are we talking about Michelle? Or are we talking about both of them?
Or Michael.
That's what I'm saying. You know, she might have whipped out her little toy and had a ball. Okay, that just sounded wrong in so many ways. Anyway,
Yeah, no, we're not going to go there.
I'm just saying, you know, it's Tootsie Roll and Barack.
Tootsie Rolls are weird.
Yeah, well, that's
They're
what they.
weird
That,
candy.
what's her name? Said Diddy had a Tootsie Roll size. You know what?
Well, that
Or
checks
that it looked
out.
like one. Or that it
Yeah,
looked like
there you go.
one. Yeah.
So his dick is like 3 inches long. That's no wonder he's got to have freak parties. I mean,
There
come
he
on,
is.
3 inches. That's sad, man.
He's
I
trying
mean,
to
that
get out.
ain't even 3 inches. That's like 2 inches. Oh man,
He's a billionaire. Does it really matter?
Yeah, man, go get that thing fixed or something. I mean, come on, go get one of the plastic inserts or something.
I'll never eat a Tootsie Roll again, I swear to
Hey,
God.
Sean.
What was the reasoning in dropping those charges? Was it because they said that it didn't have enough
The
evidence?
racketeering charges. So, no, they had plenty of evidence, but the racketeer charges was one, the guy Diddy didn't actually bring anything in. The drugs that were brought in by that guy who set it up, and the guy said it himself. I'd bring them in, drop them off. After the parties, I'd clean it up and pick it up. So as far as the judge was concerned, this wasn't Diddy's drugs. This was this other guy's drugs. So, and he was just supplying them to everybody. So
what,
that took Diddy off the hook for that.
And someone is doing cocaine in my car, I get in trouble for it, not them.
So
And we
they
both
had
do.
it. They thought they had him on some money related stuff, but the Swiss bank or whatever it is, Norwegian bank, won't let him in, so they can't get that. So that's highway to the byway there. That's gone. I forgot the other reason they dropped it. The only thing they got him on is prostitution, and we were talking about that last night. It depends on which way the judge wants to go. Anywhere from 0 time to 10 years. It's up to the judge.
If he goes for the big time, then he's showing that he's against sex workers, which is very not cool these days because there's a push to legitimize sex workers, right? So he's kind of pushing against.
So I think the real problem for Diddy is if this would have been like 1 or 2 or 3 people, I think the judge would let him go and said no problem. You know, look, dude, you're gonna have to pay this fine, and you may have to go to counseling. But they're talking up to 1,000. I don't know, man. I don't know how that's gonna play out.
He's a major employer, man. I mean,
Yeah, he was a major employer, right? 132 major employees. I don't know how that's going to play out. So we'll have, that's up to the judges. Nothing.
Well, he's going to
nothing
be
anybody can do.
Be a major employer. Once all the civil lawsuits come out, he's going to be a pauper.
Well, he'll probably be in the
imagine
think
how
book.
many
I
people
mean,
in
but
prison
you know, he'll be able to write a book. Hey, look,
Yeah.
if he beats the system, he'll be able to write a book. Yeah, he'll be able to write. As far as the trafficking goes, see, I'm a little confused with the trafficking thing. So, bringing prostitutes across state line is trafficking.
Well, they didn't actually call
so
it
why?
transportation for prostitution.
Yeah, that's what. That's the charges that are left.
Yeah.
Is bringing or prostitution across state lines. So I'm confused why that wasn't trafficking because that's trafficking. So I don't know why but that's the jury did that, not the judge. And the judge could still pick that up and say, "Whoa, wait a minute now." I mean, if we got him on prostituting, we got him on trafficking.
I've seen a lot of court cases, man. And once the major charges go, and they're unmotivated to continue on, and the other ones
That's true. That's true in poor people. That's not true in rich people. We've seen that with your boy. What was the football player? He got rid of all the big charges. The judge still gave him 30 years. Still gave him 30 years.
O.J. Simpson.
No, I'm not talking about OJ. No, OJ got 8 or 7. He got it. He got hit too. I'm talking about that Saints quarterback. Not quarterback. He was a running back. He was big time famous. He was out in L.A. He'd been bought out and put out there. There was 2 of them. Got in trouble for rape, for giving people drugs. They both got 30 years. They're doing 30 years. They doing 30 years in a state pen, so they're not even doing easy time.
Who played for the Saints, Quinn Early, and Quinn went from the Saints to Buffalo. Now he's in L.A., but he's not the kind of guy that rapes people.
No, he was. Yeah, whoever this was giving him drugs. He was. I can't. Something Sharp or something. Darren Sharp.
Yeah, but he used to say, you wouldn't believe the crap that goes on.
Was that Shannon Sharp?
But both those guys got big time, and they're not the only ones. They've been other big famous people who've gotten big charges off of little charges because people are getting tired. People are getting tired of seeing people get away with shit. That's what the real problem for Diddy is.
But I think it's more than
That's why Amber Turd lost and Pretty Boy won, because people are tired of this kind of crap.
Well, also,
They'll
I
be able
think
to appeal.
the thing about it is not only are these people to their children idols, they're setting the bad example that you can do whatever you want, and because if you get as famous as P Diddy, you won't have to go to jail for anything you do that's stupid. I think it sets way kind of wrong example to let him even not walk from jail. Yeah, I think he should do it. I think he's going to do at least a couple.
Well, I mean, we read the. I think the maximum they can give him. It depends whether they can do it concurrently or if they can't.
Federal court runs concurrently, so states tend to run consecutively, but the judge can have a little bit of say and stuff like that. But
they said the judge can change it. I was reading that yesterday. They said he can change it. He's not supposed to, but he can, just like they did in Trump. They can change it, but will they? Is this judge? The really question is this judge motivated to change the law to do this? Because right off the bat, that's making him in it.
He kept him in. He didn't give him bail.
Yeah, that was. See, as soon as I heard that, made me think, oh shit, he's going to get some time. I mean, that's what made me think he might get some time, is because the judge said, I ain't letting you out.
Or the judge is thinking, hey, he's not going to get any time, so I'm going to keep him in there. You know what I mean? Just so he knows what it feels like, to be. And that's a Brooklyn lockup. It ain't no fun place to be.
Yeah, they'll have to see what goes down with him.
He's going to have to bribe a whole lot of prisoners to keep him safe, or he's going to get sued.
Well, like I said earlier, if it would have been 1 or 2 or 3 prostitutes, I don't even think the judge would have had a choice but just to fine him and let him go. Maybe put him in, maybe give him an ankle bracelet or something.
But it's thousands.
But I mean, there was a lot. Yeah, there was a lot. I don't know. And the judge already said no matter what, if he was to get out, he would have to seek a lot of counseling for several different things, from destroying hotel rooms to beating women. And if he missed any, that would put him in jail.
I think by October it's going to cool off, man. It'll cool off.
Yeah. So it's really up to the judge. If this guy really pissed somebody off, because let's be honest, something motivated this to happen. The Fed went after him for a reason. And remember, now, one of the things, I'll tell you, one of the saving grace for Diddy is the Feds went after him when Biden was president. We have a new president now. We have a new Pam Bondi is the new. So does Bondi think he should stay in jail or not? She's kind of hardcore. So there's no telling which way she might go in. And maybe she likes Diddy. And she's like,
unless Trump pardons him, he might pardon Diddy.
Yeah.
I think that's unlikely. Unless Diddy has some dirt on Trump, I don't think Trump's going to bow that low.
Nobody's got dirt on Trump. Trump didn't live the way like that. Somebody said, oh, he was with Epstein. I said, if he was Epstein, every Democrat and their mama would have posted it.
But obviously he's an abuser. He abuses women and he abuses people. He's not Mr. Nice Guy. So
I've disliked P. Diddy, Sean Combs from the beginning. He became famous. Never liked the individual as a performer or a rapper or a public, figure, public artist. I've always thought, like Mike said, I always thought he was a douchebag.
Besides, Diddy sounds like he's gay.
Or
I like prison.
Swings the bat from both sides of the plate. Either way.
Don't forget about
he sounds like he's gay.
Ask Justin Bieber.
Bieber said he was great.
Don't forget about Tupac.
So did Ashton. Ashton Kutcher said the same thing.
A lot of people saying that he ordered the hit on Tupac.
And Prince.
And Biggie.
So, but here's a question for y'all. Just 3 years ago, he was worth $800 million. This year, he's worth $400 million. What happened?
I think
baby oil is expensive stuff, man.
Funding these parties.
Baby oil.
Funding those parties, 100%. Yeah.
Why wouldn't he not take stock in baby oil? That's what I was wondering.
Well, if they let him out, look, if they let him out, I'm buying stock in Johnson's baby oil. I'm telling you now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna buy me some stock, man, because
You might
Well,
want
think
to wait
about
and
it.
see
You got-
how much of his fortune he
It's
retains. He
Masters
may
and
get
Johnson
sued.
Market. That's
He
what it
has
is.
a huge entourage. He's got to pay for them. He's got managers, agents, and all that. He's got to pay for that. You know, he manages bands and whatever, produces them. So, I mean, a lot of them aren't doing so well. That's dropping off drastically, right? He's got private planes. He's got to pay for that. He's got yachts. He's got to pay for that. I mean, you know, mansions too, and all. Plus, his kids are spending his money like water, man. So I can see he's not, you know, he's not doing as well. His clothing line is not doing as well. I mean, you know, he could end up broke.
And then now he's going to get out of jail and have to face all of these civil cases. He might be better off doing 10 years, so those civil
That's what I was
cases will
about to
go
say.
away.
He'd be better off. He can't be sued if
But
he's in prison.
Even if he gets out and does his time, guys and ladies, you know what? There's somebody out for his head. I'm serious. All that
Well, the
shit that
thing of
went
it
down.
is, he didn't roll on nobody, though. So far, as best I can see, he didn't roll on anybody.
I'm
other
not
than saying,
I mean,
you know,
it don't
cracks out
matter,
of vine.
man.
Well, it does matter, man.
Just
'cause
say
he-
for a second, Cassie, her husband goes off the deep end, and he goes after Diddy.
Nah, that guy's so passive.
That was just an example, Mike. That was just an example. Like there could have been.
He's not
somebody else.
bloodthirsty like you, Sean. All right.
Yeah, Dexter, calm down, Dexter.
Sean's coming
Goddamn,
out
he
with
must see the new
knives.
Dexter coming on TV. I see what's going on.
Butcher
here.
knives.
You
I
know
don't
it,
think
buddy.
that he's making music the way he used to, and so, you
That's
know,
true. He's not.
Quite
He
honestly,
was
I don't think he
making-
ever made music.
he was making music for other people, like, you know, Usher or
I'll be right back.
Justin Bieber's. But they don't make music anymore either, so he's not bringing in any money from them.
Pittsburgh
You know?
has 3 rivers. 3 for a reason. You know what I mean? But boom. Dump those
There's
pockets.
actually 4. There's 4.
4, see?
Do all of you guys live in Pennsylvania?
Not me.
Just me and Sean, but Michael lives close by in the next state over, New York.
Yeah, I'm like 15 minutes away from Pennsylvania. That I could get there at 15.
Y'all are neighbors.
Yes. I
Yeah,
still live in the
maybe.
deep south where the real people live,
Goes in
civilized
the
people.
bayou. He's in the bayou.
So what's going on down there, Joe? There's a big old flood in Texas, and they
Yeah, you
got
see
the
that?
alligator Alcatraz in Florida.
Yeah.
Just
I
saying,
like the alligator Alcatraz. I think that's cool as hell.
maybe 60 dead in Texas.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Texas, why it's flooding in Texas, I have no idea.
It's still
That's just
raining,
kind
dude.
Well,
kind of
and
weird.
there's a tropical storm is about to strike somewhere around Charleston or between Charleston and Savannah, Georgia.
Yeah, seen that.
Yeah. So, and it's just a
Yeah.
tropical storm, but that still means, sustained winds of like 45, 50 miles an hour.
Needs to stay away from my house. All I got to say about it.
It's
This
coming.
is the map. This storm has been going, just wrapping around, and it's dumped already over 20 inches of rain on these communities.
Trying
Just
to
since
become
last night, since yesterday afternoon. 60 people either dead. There's like 40-something dead and 27 missing. A lot of
See,
little
when we-
children. Just little,
It's funny
little-
when we get those kind of big rainstorms, they just drain out into my bayou. I don't even have to worry about it. It's like, yeah, I'm going in the bayou. We don't have to worry about it. We only have to worry
Yeah,
about when
you
water
don't
from
have
the
to climb
bayou is
so far
pushing
down
in.
off your dock to your boat either. The boat's up a little higher, isn't it?
This is
It's-
northeast of Austin. Just a little bit northeast. Austin is
Yeah.
there's Killeen.
Moving very
Anyway,
slowly.
they're just getting dumped on nonstop. I mean, nonstop, and they just swept people away. They didn't even understand how RV parks, all that people, everything swept away, and they don't even understand how many people are missing because it's ongoing.
Oh, the one little bit I saw on the news was he was city manager or something. He was high up in the organization of whatever city was hit by this, and he said that they were simply caught unawares. It happened like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning when the flood actually came in and did its destruction. So he said most of the workers we have for that kind of thing were either asleep or just getting up and getting ready for work at like 4 or 5. So they have the infrastructure for this, but the infrastructure wasn't prepared, and it just came down and smacked the shit out of them, and they were completely caught by surprise.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah, I mean, how do you put? I mean, they had flood warnings and all, but you don't know if it's going to come like a wall like that, and that's what they're describing it as, is like a wall of water just came all at once.
Yeah, well, all you can do is pray for them, really, at this rate, you know.
Were dams breaking?
I don't know. They do have a dam there.
Maybe, I'm not sure if that was the case, but there was mention of two rivers where they converged, and
Yeah, that's all I heard. Rivers were flooding
when
over.
it converged to that point, it became too much for that river, the next riverbed, to handle, and it overflowed.
Yeah, it's the Colorado River that runs through there.
Yeah, the Red River.
Yeah, what's a little rain, man, amongst friends?
You know, and it's 10 or 12 inches, and it also causes a flood. It's not fun.
What's a little rain amongst friends, man? Come on.
I'd rather it turn into snow. At least you can go ski.
Now, if you're down there in Florida with alligator Alcatraz, you know, you might be a little worried. You know, the alligators.
Are we gonna talk about that later?
We can talk about it now.
We've been talking about it. You see it already flooded. Did y'all see that? Alligator Alcatraz flooded
rapidly.
They're already bitching because it flooded, and how are you going to take care of the people if it flooded?
Okay.
I don't know.
And, it was kind of funny, actually. It flooded pretty bad.
You're in prison, asshole. It's not supposed to be pleasant.
But I thought the lady on NBC was the best. She goes, they're not worried about them alligators down there. Them people be down there making alligator soup and shit. He said they ain't scared of them alligators. And you know what? A lot of them guys like them ain't gonna be scared of them alligators. They'll be cutting off tails, making food, making boots. They'll be like, shit on this. If you know how to kill an alligator, you're okay. Now, if they 10 foot and there's a bunch of them, you're probably going to be dinner.
Mm-hmm. So what's more dangerous, a crocodile or an alligator?
Oh, crocodile by far.
Because they stand up taller?
No, they're a little bit bigger, but they're just more aggressive.
They have a narrower snout, and they can snap off a
leg. None of that matters. They're just way more aggressive, because alligators and crocodiles can be the same size, depending on what size they are, but they're just way more aggressive. They will eat somebody swimming in the water. So most of the time, if an alligator sees you swimming, he's going to go the other way. And if you smack him on the nose, he's going to go the other way. You smack a crocodile, you fucking dinner.
You lost a hand, at least.
Yeah, you fucking dinner is what you are. He's going to just eat you. The only thing crocodiles are scared of is hippopotamuses.
Yeah.
And they scared shit.
It's so crazy to me that they're so similar, but they're also so different, like to the point where they can't breed with each other. They're just two completely different species.
They are. They're two different kind of lizards is what they are.
They're one of the few.
There are crocodiles in Florida. There's salty crocs in Florida. That's the only place you can find them in the U.S. Now, you go to Egypt and all, they're all over the fucking Nile River.
Yeah, the Nile.
And then, of course, if you go to Australia, they're all over down there. So they probably don't swim to Egypt to Australia because they have salty crocs. They actually showed a 14-foot croc fighting with a great white. I hate to say the great white won. The great white made a turn and just bit the son bitch in half. Whoosh. And the alligator just went loop. If the alligator could have bit him first, he might have had a chance. But I think they're in open water.
How big was that great white?
He was actually smaller. He was about 10, 12 feet. He wasn't much, around the same size, a little bit smaller.
Still of a 10, 12 foot.
The problem was for the croc is it's open water. If they would have been in a river or a bayou, the croc would have won.
Yes.
But out in open water like that, the fish had a much better. He took off and came back so fast the croc didn't have a chance. It was crocs are fast in water, don't get me wrong, but they ain't as fast as the great white. They were just and a big great white would have ate him no problem at all. It just munched him down. It's I don't even know if a croc could have broke the skin of a big great white, like a 25-footer or something. I don't know. That would be I think your dinner. But crocodiles have no problem eating dolphins or people or anything like that. If they can get you, they'll eat your ass. Other fish.
They will prey on baby hippos.
Yeah, but usually they won't now. They were talking about that recently. I watched a special on it. They sometimes they'll try, but once the mama hippo moves, they haul ass. Yeah, they were showing the mama hippos grabbing a 14-foot croc and just crunching that bastard in half.
Yep.
They do not play, and they can't break the hide of a big one. They really can't break the hide of a little one.
You
So
can
they,
step on it and break its bones. I mean, that's all I need to do.
but the mama's gonna kill you, or the daddy's gonna kill you.
Not alone the mama. There's like
And
about
plus,
10
usually
mamas.
hips travel in packs.
Yes, 10 mamas would be attacking.
Yeah,
that
so
thing.
you Crocs usually stay. We're showing Crocs will leave the water if hippos are in it.
How
They will
much
just
does a
go the
hippo
other
weigh, though?
way.
They weigh like a ton. If they can step on it too, they can snap their backs.
Yeah, the big in the water, it's different too. It's just a whole different thing. I seen one had one by the leg on land, and the mom, he's a big old croc. He had the leg trying to get him in the mouth. The big old croc just came. I mean, the big old hippo just came over there and just snapped his head closed right off.
How many hippos do you have in Mississippi?
There ain't no hippos in Mississippi, buddy, because we'd be shooting bitches.
Hippos are like aren't hippos South American?
No, they're African.
Oh, there's some in South America.
Well, I mean, I don't know if they're in South, but they're definitely
There
not
may be
North
transplants from Africa. Well, the
It's,
crocodiles in Africa and the crocodiles in Egypt, though, they think they are both.
So, what's the most dangerous cat in the Americas?
The house cat.
No, I think that's probably gonna. It's either gonna be the Manx or the bobcat.
The lion, the mountain lion.
Are you crazy? Yeah, she's closer. It's actually the jaguar.
Oh.
Is the most. Jaguars get big.
Where in the hell's
they've been-
Jaguars at in the States, Joe?
Brazil.
Not in the States. They're in South America. I said in the Americas. I didn't say in America. I said in the Americas. So
That's why I'm
They're-
with bobcat or
Jaguars.
Manx because they're all.
no,
over.
in North America, they've got
We got the cougar.
they got panthers, and they've got mountain lions.
Cougar.
Well, the mountain lion cougar is.
Have you seen
is a type of
Have you
panther.
seen the Jaguars go after alligators?
They I've seen them hunt 'em. I've seen panthers down here hunt gators. I've also seen black bear hunt gators too.
Jaguars
It's,
do.
Jaguar would drag one out. Depending on
Here
the
we
pretty
go.
hippos. The pretty hippos. Look at them babies, man. They so pretty.
Baby hippos are so cute.
Hippos in Colombia.
In Colombia, that's cool.
Yeah.
In Colombia, that ain't bad. But I tell you what, they attack a lot of humans too,
Yeah. They'll knock over a boat if they.
and they're
think-
fast.
Oh,
The
And
piranha.
they're fast in the water too.
So they were
Real
introduced by the cocaine Pablo Escobar, back in
yes,
the
John,
1970s, his private zoo, and then they were let out, and I guess that they're everywhere now.
Invite. Where is my email? All right, we got a guest going to be joining us in a few minutes.
Okie
So the hippos escaped in 1993 and have been breeding and populating in the wild.
You know, they had a Black Panther escape down here. It took him forever. And they pretty sure he bred with 2 or 3 regular panthers in the area. But, you know, there's no such thing as a Black Panther anyway. They're just a
Is there a white panther, Joe?
panther. Well, I know. They're just, when you look at them, when you get up close to one, a Black Panther, when you look at them, they're going to have spots all over them. So they're not really actually.
They're actually part of the leopard family, and so is the U.S. mountain lion, or it's also sometimes called the cougar.
These are bobcats.
Same brand.
Bobcats are little. They're 40 pounds, 50 pounds.
Yeah, but if you're, let me tell you, if you're
Manx is 40 pounds. The bobcat's like 60, 80 pounds.
if you're out there in
No,
the
we got
wild,
Bobcats in the neighborhood. They ain't no bigger than about 50 pounds.
if you're walking on a trail and one of those things is stalking you, one of my friends, she got stalked by a bobcat. She was flipped out, man. Like, and she had a German Shepherd with her, and that bobcat didn't care about the dog. So, but yeah, usually they stay away from people, you know.
Yeah. I see them down here all the time because you have to watch the dogs because I got small dogs. So I have to keep an eye out. There's a really pretty one. I thought I was going to have to shoot the bastard, but he done moved on. He done moved on to somewhere else.
I have a special animal cam now.
Yeah, I mean you up there with your own little camp up there. Well, I do too. I mean I got animals all over. The 2 boy dogs though ran off most of the predatory birds. The hawks they didn't like the dogs barking. The ospreys didn't care because they don't. They eat fish. They're not really interested in it. The eagle, he thought he was going to land here, and I don't know. One of the dogs went ape shit, and fucking was like 10 times the size of the dog. And but he fishes down on the beach, not far from the house. There's several eagles around here, man. I watch them all the time because, but if my dogs see anything that makes like a shadow in the air, they lose their minds. The other two dogs taught these two dogs, if there's a shadow, there's danger. Because Charlie, when he was little, he was my big chihuahua, about 14 pounds. When he was little, a seagull tried to carry him off, man. And you know what you got to watch? Will eat your damn pet is pelicans. Yeah. I've seen it eat cats all over the place, man.
They also try to take babies out of,
Yeah, they're insane. They're insane. Oh, look who we got. What you doing, Mr. John?
Hey, John.
Hey, John.
Hey, been a while.
Hey, John. Let's see. That's Michael up there in the middle. That's Jay on top. Leah on the middle, and Sean hiding over there on the right.
John,
yeah.
Hello.
Sean
hey,
said
John. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Sean said something about he wants to be Dexter tonight. I'm not sure what that meant.
No.
When he's in Dexter mode, we just leave him alone, man.
See the raccoon outside? You see that?
And Michael lives in a jungle where he's got a black bear that comes to visit, raccoons, squirrels. I mean,
seeds, man. He's stealing the seeds. There's the
cat. Things that happen on live radio cracks me.
The cat's just sitting on his post.
I know. I remember that night your cat was just sitting there looking at the bear like,
Yeah.
What's the bear doing here, man? What's it up to? Anyway, so we got John. Where's John and I we just wrapped up the Arthur's Quill a little while ago. We had some good guests on there, a lot of fun to talk about. And Desmond and Craig and Jen and a whole bunch of them were nice. So what you doing out here getting in trouble? I'm surprised that Emily let you come on this show, man. Tell us that you're not doing a good job.
I snuck off.
She's it's been a little strange lately. You just missed the conversation about hippos beating up crocodiles. Hey, Mike got on the bottom down there. Just a little weird conversation about hippos beating up crocodiles. I don't know what that was about. That's strange. Guys and girls, John actually hosts Writers of the Future. He's on today. He's the opening show on today, followed by The Professional, followed by The Arthur's Quill, which, of course, is followed by this show right here. And then, of course, Michael wraps up the night. God only knows what we're going to talk about. You know, things get weird on these shows.
Samaria.
I know, but we have some really good guests on The Arthur's Quill tonight. Nice military show. It's very comfortable. Everybody was very relaxed on the show. I like shows like that. The topics kind of flowed pretty easy. I like those kind of things. So what you got coming up in the future? Something about naked girls or something. I heard that.
You're hearing things in your head again. So what this is just one thing that I was really anxious to come here. We talked about this because the Writers of the Future is we're in the 42nd year now, and it's for aspiring writers and artists, and anybody can enter the show. It's free to enter, and this year, in fact, this quarter, we just broke the 1,000 mark of winners that are being published in Writers of the Future. So we finally broke 1,000 people, 1,000 new writers and artists that have been recognized with this contest. Many of them have gone on to major careers. Like about 65%. We did a calculation last year.
Yes, I have my favorites too.
Yeah, and then we've got the podcast that you were just talking about, and so I've got it entered into the podcast awards, the People's Choice Podcast Awards, of which I'm a 7-time finalist, yet to win. So I'm hoping that this time here, you know, because I've got 3 entries, which is the arts, and then storyteller drama, and in education. Because the whole purpose of the podcast is to help provide not only inspiration and tips, but also help educate, you know, aspiring writers and artists of how to make it by going through the life journeys of many of today's top talents. So I've had like a lot of the quote unquote A-lister authors as guests over the 6 years. And, you know, you talk about these guys and you're like, wow, some of their beginnings are so humble. you've had Larry Elmore on as a guest a couple times, and he started out. He's one of the most famous fantasy artists out there right now, and he started off in Kentucky, living in the backwoods there with his mom, who was a single parent, and they were so broke he had a pencil and he'd whittle it to keep it sharp. And each week when they go shopping, they get their groceries in a box, and he'd cut the box up into all the different flaps, and he'd illustrate on both sides with his pencil, and that was his paper, because that's what they could afford. And now his sketches now go for thousands of dollars, and he's just it's crazy. He said, this is crazy what people pay for my stuff now, but it's amazing.
Oh yeah, anyway, Larry, he's talking about. Larry Elmore is the guy who does Dungeons and Dragons. He's original Dragons. Yes, y'all can check out his work like that. But go ahead, John. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah. So he's the original guy that did the Dungeons and Dragons, and he also did the other series too that he did all the art for, Dragonlance. He did all the Dragonlance illustrations too. So he's just an amazing guy, and he comes out every couple of years and teaches at the Writers of the Future workshop. But we've got some of our judges that we have as our guests, like Kevin Anderson. He's the one that does all the Dune books right now, which are being made into Dune movies. Orson Scott Card wrote Ender's Game. Tim Powers is the one that wrote on Stranger Tides, which was made into the Johnny Depp movie. So we have a lot of authors like that, and past authors like Frank Herbert, the guy that wrote Dune originally. He was one of the first judges. So Frank Frazetta, who's a very famous fantasy artist.
Yes, well, I want Frank Frazetta, ladies and gentlemen. So you need to contact Writers of the Future. Actually, no, you need to contact Galaxy Press and ask to speak to Sarah and tell her Joe needs another picture. Okay, now y'all have to go and buy this. Now you have to work a deal with her. She's tough. I'm just going to tell y'all ahead of time. No, this picture behind me is all lonely. Y'all can't see it, but it's all lonely back there. And it needs a companion.
Yeah, that's an autograph, lithograph, a special type of lithograph.
Yeah, they're a couple of grand, to be sure. Ask for Sarah. Well, Emily's there too, but ask for Sarah. That's who you need to ask for, yes.
Yeah.
Tell her Joe sent you. Yeah. No, don't buy it for yourself. I want it. No. You're missing what I'm saying here. Donate it to United Public Radio, yes. And be sure you get out there and vote for John, because I'll tell you what, we all tired of being running up. Second place sucks. First place, people. First place. We won best local broadcast this year, 4 out of 7 years. So that's really good for us. But we want to be first. And John's the only show representing the network this year. None of the other shows are in. So get out there and vote. Go to it's podcast. Yeah, go to podcast.
It's podcast.com, and there you can it's podcastawards.com. Sorry, so it's podcastawards.com, and you sign up to vote, and then I've got the 3 categories, which is arts, and then storyteller, drama, and education. If you can vote, that'd be great. If you're not familiar with Writers of the Future podcast, then look it up. It's on SoundCloud. It's in all the different platforms, but it's Writers of the Future podcast. And it's got, I just uploaded yesterday episode 335 with Tom Wood. He's another amazing illustrator. He does all the art for...
He's just some strange guy who lives out in the woods. I don't know, man.
It's amazing art that he does. But so that'd be something I really appreciate that. We work hard. We've had a lot of great artists and authors, and so we try to provide really good content but mostly to inspire people that want to be able to write or to be able to do art, so that you don't give up and you don't listen to the naysayers. That's like one of the key messages we have. Is
that the correct website, John? Going by at the bottom.
Yeah, it's Podcast Awards. Let's see, podcastawards.com.
Oh, I put America. Okay, all right. Let me fix it.
Yeah, I don't know why you're not hearing audio. The audio is fine, dude. What's up?
He's putting in the crawler there.
No, Joe Fox says there's no audio.
Yeah, where you hear no audio, and all of us have audio just fine, and the station's fine. I can hear it, and the people logged in are fine.
What?
Where you logged in? You're logged in on Facebook. Oh, I don't know, dude. Go to.
See if your screen is muted. You might check the top window.
Yeah,
of
it's
your-
not. Go over to YouTube or to Rumble.
Thanks, Sparky.
Yeah, I mean,
There we go.
Facebook is not gonna be
Podcastawards.com. Oh, yeah, I think I
Facebook.
got it correct.
We're the
Yeah,
only
sure.
show that
Go
IT trouble.
to people, really go vote. I mean,
Yeah.
it's important. I'd like to see a show win. No, I didn't put any shows in. I was gonna put in. This show's not old enough, but I was gonna put in news on the flip side and UFO on the cover. But I went looking for some categories, and I was in a bad mood that day too. But I went looking for some categories for UFO on the cover. I couldn't find nothing. There used to be some categories you could put in, so we'll just say it put me in a bad mood. So I told them to go with themselves. But I did sign up to go vote, so because I knew John was going to be an SM vote. Well, we'll put news in the flip side in next year, but I don't usually put news in the flip side in unless I put UFO on the cover. It's the older of the shows on the network, and it's more established, and it's listen to audience. Yes, anyway. Don't worry about us. Go vote for John. Writers of the future. Yes, that's what you look for. Writers and illustrators of the future. Yes.
Just saying, Joe. It says I'm looking at the page. It says registration continues to be open. Just
Yeah.
saying.
I might have to talk to these guys. Maybe we'll put this show in. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean,
hopefully
maybe we'll put.
if you're in a better mood, then maybe you can deal with it.
We'll talk about it after the show tonight. It's John's always causing trouble. He must know Jay or somebody. Michael and I over here being hey. Sean's turning back into Dexter. That just scares the crap out of me.
Damn straight, man. Damn
You
straight.
know, look, they got hippos loose down there. You can go take care of them hippos. And
Damn straight, man. The
I'm wondering about the hippos are wandering around down there with the piranhas.
Escobar, dude. That's cocaine hippos. You know what I mean?
So we got hippos on cocaine. I really don't want to talk
And
about
we
that.
got
We're just
hippo on cocaine. I don't know if I want to deal with that, man. I don't know.
Oh man, no, it's but I always get the name wrong. It's I can't think of it now. Podcast Awards, but there's another part of the name. When you
People's
look for it
Choice?
online,
It's
'Cause
the
there's
overall
the-
thing. It's called People's Choice Podcast Awards, but
Yeah,
the
People's
link
Choice.
is just Podcast Awards.
yeah. So People's Choice Podcast Awards. No, somebody was giving me trouble about some other podcast awards. No, there are two.
Oh, here it
it's a
is.
different.
Here you go. Here you go. What about that?
Yeah, there we go. Podcastawards.com. Thank you.
There you go. So you can go
Sean
there.
Keller, next to the
Register
night.
show, 1, 2. Yeah, you go in and register. It's only $50. No, it's not really expensive. Just go register. Oh no, that single shit. Don't even get me started on that. Oh no, don't even get me started on that. So to register,
On what?
new flip side. I'm not kidding you. I went so UFO on the cover was going to be free, by the way. I was going to register news and the flip side. So I did the categories, did everything, and I was looking. It was $9,000. $9,000. If y'all see the letter I wrote to them, trust me. And I said, why don't you come on my show and talk about this? Huh? So you know what? Once
$9,000.
out of the chat, I want to talk to you about this $9,000.
But you get a really pretty cert.
Yeah. I was, ooh, man, I was hot. I ain't been that hot in a long time for something on air. I was like, what the kind of fucking bleeping fucking idiots are these, man? Foxy Joe. I like that name, Foxy Joe, man. I'm going to have to steal that name. Yeah, that's why. Yeah, that's what Foxy. Oh, all right, same person. Okay. Yeah, just use that. It's better on, it's probably better on Rumble and YouTube anyway. Probably sounds better. I don't know what's up with Facebook. I kept throwing up an error earlier on the not that
I
page.
think Facebook is all AI nowadays. It's just all AI content.
We made this AI bot. You see it? That's Leah the AI. We made her a couple weeks ago. She looks good as AI. Yeah. Yes. Everybody should have an AI bot. Yes.
That should be her name, man. We all have a nickname. We got Doomsday Jay,
Yeah,
we got Dexter. I'm Purgatory Mick. So it's going to be Lisa AI.
I know. No, Michael, it's you go over there and you vote. Podcastawards.com. Just go over and vote. You got to sign up to vote. But oh no, I voted for I don't know how many freaking things the other day.
Oh, Foxy Joe.
Oh no, there's a list. There's a list of stuff you get to vote for. It's not just his show. There's a bunch. But look for writersoffuture.com when you're going through. But there's a list of stuff you can vote for. You can vote for all kind of influencers.
What was the open music? What was the open song?
The what? The what? The what?
It's the
Foxy
Rise of
Joe
Future.
said it
It's
was
a-
copyright infringement.
Wait, what are y'all talking about? What song?
Foxy-
Oh, I don't know. The opening song? I don't know. We didn't. I wouldn't.
James
I
Brown.
don't know. If Facebook hit us on that, they can go. You know what? Themselves.
That was "I'm Proud to Be an American." That was that song there by
Yeah, we played that on the other show. And Michael played something on this one. I don't know if they hit us on that, they can go. You know what? Themselves. I'm serious. Facebook gets a little twitchy sometimes. They're still trying to be the old Facebook from back in the day. Carly, yes, you can. You mean, yeah, there's a couple of things on the site now that you can use. YouTube is monetized, yes. And pretty soon there will be a lot of shows on there that you can get that you can't get anywhere else. Those are also part of the monetization. There'll be pretty little banners you can get. And I think the first one's just a bunch of little banners and stuff like that. Actually, I'm going to talk to Karen because she's going to be doing some of the banners for me. And then, no, they're going to be special banners. And then on the second one, you'll be able to get everything you get on the first one, plus the Gray Zone and Science and Beyond and a few other things. The third one is a date with our AI bot. Yes. It's a date with our AI bot. Yes. That's what the third one is. We haven't made up our mind. I'll talk to Michelle about it and see what we're going to put there. But the Gray Zone and Science and Beyond will be available in the second one.
What
Yeah,
you
you'll be able to
doing,
get
Leah? What are you doing, Leah?
Should be an AI bot. You know, AI bots aren't always stable, man.
Hey, Leah, I like the haircut, hon. I like your haircut.
Good, man. She look good. I like the color. It's
I'm growing it out.
about damn
it's-
time.
I'm trying to grow it.
So one of these days she'll have her own show up for an award too. It's guys, be sure to go vote. John needs to win this year. This second place shit is irritating. Runner up. Yeah, runner up my ass, man. I mean, come on. Do you know I'm
It's
not
lit.
kidding you. Between like 4 shows we had up there, do you know how many runner ups we got? It's ridiculous. No. I mean it's like 30 or 40. It's crazy. Well, we could have we could have a trophy for everyone if we want. They'll give you a trophy. Well, you got to pay for it, but you can get a trophy. They're like $250, I think. No, they got like a short one and a tall one
Ah,
that you.
there you go.
John's got one. Well, he got them on this desk, but he's got them on some desk somewhere. I've seen them before.
Does it dispense whiskey? Because that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, that would be a good one. That would be a good trophy there. What are you talking about? Are you in the U.S.? Yeah, all of us are in the U.S. Well, John's not. He's kind of off in L.A., so we don't know if that's the U.S. anymore.
LA,
we don't
But the
know
rest
if
of us are in the U.S.
we don't know if that's Mexico or Canada yet.
right,
Yeah,
right,
we're not sure what's going on with that part of the country yet.
right on the other side of this window shade here is Hollywood Boulevard, and it's just like it's amazing the kind of weirdity stuff that I've seen over the years.
I can imagine. You got a lot of stories. Just
And, you
Just-
know,
Did you say Hollywood Boulevard?
Yeah.
that's where they're at on Hollywood
the-
Boulevard.
The Chinese theater is that way about 100 yards.
I worked off Hollywood and Vine for a long time. Well, Sunset and Vine.
Wow, doing what? Where?
I was expert burrito roller at Chipotle. Oh, and
There
I
you
also
go.
worked,
Maybe
I also
we
worked at a-
I used to go
I'll
there.
be talking about food. I'm already hungry, people.
I used to get
What
my
is,
burritos there.
the Veggie Grill. I worked there too.
Okay.
Is that still there? Veggie Grill by the
Yeah.
theater?
Yeah, the theater's not, but Veggie Grill is.
Wow.
Hopefully somebody decides, because it still has a sign up for it, because it's the Cinerama Dome is one of those iconic buildings in Hollywood. It's just somebody needs to not gonna be me to pay for it, but it's just so gosh darn expensive here. It just continues to. The solution is to every problem is to raise taxes, and then more people leave, so they need more money. So they raise more taxes. It's just they haven't figured it out yet. But I don't know if this is a show that talks about our brilliant politicians, but
oh, she's an idiot. She's an idiot.
Hey, John.
Yeah.
If it got really, really, really bad in Los Angeles, would you move?
If my company moved me, I've got places all over, but right now this is our. I'm kind of like grandfathered in, so for me, it's not.
They got a really nice building there. It'd be hard to leave
building, which we own free and clear. We got really good security that we have. So
I had a friend out there named Frank Gazzara. He owned a club called Gazzara's right on Hollywood Boulevard. And I think he had his hands in the Whiskey Go-Go and a couple of other places too, But I mean, that was like, if you know LA back 30 years ago, that was LA. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I haven't been there in a long time, but I know it's just so drastically different. And it's like New York City. They sucked the fun out of it. Like since 9/11, Manhattan has not been Manhattan. It's just a different place. They're sad. We have our memories, but still in the same, in the same realm.
Yeah, when I was in college, I went to Claremont. It used to be then called Claremont Men's College. This is back in the 70s. And I went to Whiskey Go-Go, and Cheech and Chong was performing there.
Yeah.
And they did a lot of their fun stuff they did, which maybe Leah's never heard of them, but I'm sure that
I grew up on them.
Yeah, so they had the Sister Mary Holy Butter gig that they did there, they were very funny.
I didn't get the chance to see the Bullet, but I did see Tommy Chong in Savannah when I was in college, and it was in the early '90s. That was very cool.
I was a Monty Python guy, man.
I watched them too. They were good.
I don't know. I was angelic like in those days. So I can't.
Oh, come on!
I was like floating on the clouds and stuff. I didn't get bad till later on. Actually, until my dad died, I was just innocent little thing. Didn't know my ass from a hole in the ground. Then after that, I became. Y'all don't even want to know what I became for about a decade. So now I'm reverting back to my peace-loving life.
I know what you became.
I became an evil bastard, is what I became. But
riverboat gambler.
Trust me. If I would not have had a wife, I would have either ended up dead or ended up killing someone, one or the other. I was so pissed off at the world back then that it wasn't even funny. But hey, life works out. And then I guess somebody decided, oh, he's an evil bastard. Let's give him a kid. Wait, what? No. Psh. And then life changes. It's just kind of how it is. It's one of them things. Oh, what you heard me say, evil wife, and you came
such a
up
great
here,
thing giving writers and actors.
This is accurate.
Yeah.
As I sit here and think about it, just it's hard because it's a hard industry to get into. If you don't know people or
yeah.
I mean, there's publishing companies you can go to, and a lot of them will steal your material too. I mean, I've heard of all kinds of horror stories, but giving people access, that's really awesome, man. It's great that you
Thanks.
do that.
Yeah, and it's one thing we work a lot with too is how to be able to successfully self-publish and indie publish, because there you can get up to if you're not afraid of getting out there and promoting yourself, you can make 80%, 85% as compared to 10 to 15% of your sales, which makes a big difference. And we work with people a lot on how to do that, and introduce. I've had so many different publishers and editors. I've had the head of the Audio Publishers Association, the head of Western Writers of America, Mystery Writers of America, Science Fiction Writers of America. I've had all these people on as guests talking about what do you do and how do you do it, and so it's really rewarding too, because when you see people get it, like I just had somebody on here that he'd been entering the contest for several years, then he won grand prize, and now he said my whole career totally took off winning the contest. And that's something we really like doing. The contest was created by L. Ron Hubbard way back in '83. And in the 30s and 40s, he was one of the best-selling pulp fiction writers. He had 15 different pen names. So he started this contest to be up to continue what he used to do. And it's just amazing. All the judges, they're on board, and they're just like, totally supportive because it's free to enter the contest. Everything you get on writersofthefuture.com is free. So the online workshop, entering the contest, the judging, winners are flown out to Hollywood. They get stay in the hotel. That's the Lowe's Hotel, which is right here in Hollywood. We have Joe's been at the gala, and maybe some of you have seen pictures of it. It's like a serious, referred to as.
Actually, it was weird. The gala was playing earlier on one of my links. That was weird. I'm sorry. Go ahead, John.
Yeah, it's considered to be like the Oscars of science fiction and fantasy. It's like we have like 30 media that show up to interview all the winners, red carpet, black tie, several celebrities come and help make presentations. So it's a major deal, and there's always somebody from city council coming to make a presentation. And so I said it's just a really good thing, and it's good with somebody like Joe, who's just like can be a total asshole.
Oh yeah,
and goes through and just like for the first 2 years that he was interviewing me, he was just like challenging me right, left.
Oh yes, hardcore too. I mean, I was hard on his ass.
Yeah, he said he was.
But in all fairness, when people, it's because I do a lot of speaking now, and especially now that I don't have to. Every now and then somebody's going to challenge me at John or in Writers of the Future or something, or Elron or something like that. We have that now. We have that friendship now. I can go back and say, well, look, guys, this is where we were. I said, what do you think? I said, the man calls me and tells me, oh, we blind judge, we do this. I said, yeah, I told him he was fucking crazy. I said, nobody does. That's bullshit. I told him everything was bullshit. And then finally, and I'll be speaking to a crowd. I said, finally, he said, well, why don't you fucking come out here and find out for yourself? I said, well, fine. I said, I want access to everybody. So I get out there. Guess what? I got access to everyone. And when I mean everyone, I'm talking.
Who was going to escort him? I said, I don't have time to escort you.
Yeah. I mean, all the staff. I mean, the entire thing. And you know what? I got to say this about the staff. Even today when I ask them questions, but back then I was asking them asshole pointed questions, and they were answering like not rehearsed, just answering. And it's hard when people ask you like that. So then when I got to the judges, it was the same way. When I got to the winners, it was the same way. And I was asking some pretty pertinent questions, and I was pretty convinced after the first year. But after the second year, I was completely convinced. I was like, nah, this is nothing but what this is. This is exactly what it is. This is a way for people to win, to elevate themselves, to enjoy themselves, and maybe get their career started in a real way. And one of the nice things about the judges is the judges don't always agree, by the way. So when you're sitting in the classroom, and I've sat through many of them, when you're sitting in the classroom and you hear them talking and this, well, maybe I would do it like this. So this classroom is now thinking, well, wait, is there more than one way to do something? Well, of course there is. And then they both go back and forth and explain what they're talking about. Both are putting out good ways to get something done. So now you can more taper it to you. Instead of trying to take like 10 powers and putting it on you, maybe it won't work for you. Maybe Jody Lyon's better, or maybe Todd is actually better. But now you have choices that's more close to your own personality to develop stuff. I was quite impressed. I was like, hey, look. And they come away with all of that. I mean, everybody there, if you don't learn, I mean, even I'm learning. If you don't learn, you're not paying attention. I mean, these people go out of their way. I've watched the authors and the illustrators, like Echo. She will walk around and talk to you. Now, Echo can be tough sometimes, but she will walk around and explain something to you and make you understand. When she leaves, whatever you're doing, your pad, your pencil, your computer, whatever it is you have in front of you, when she leaves there, you actually understand what it is that you didn't understand before. I give her credit for that every time. And she does it in such a way that you pick it up pretty fast. I mean, the first year, though, I met her, she was screwing around with that virtual auditorium. That shit was, I was like, what the hell are you doing, Eric? That stuff was funny as hell. She still uses that today, though. I mean, and when they're doing, I love when they, you know, what day is it they do the models come in? Echo
Yeah,
will get up
they
there.
have live model drawings that they do like the 5-minute, 10-minute, 15 and 25-minute sketches where they're posed. And
The first year I met him, Echo's like, she's trying to get these two girls to understand what she wanted. So she said, move. And she gets up on the stage and does this herself so that they would come back and repeat what she was doing. Now, you know, most teachers would not have done that. They would have kept talking until they figured out how to get it across. She just went up and did it and then brought the person up there, put them in, and then the person did what she wanted. And then the students did their thing. It's kind of like the equivalent to the 24-hour book story, the 24-hour story. It's they make these poor authors write a story in 24 hours. It was like, you got to be shitting me, right? That is it's a shame we can't put that on air, because that is so it's so intense and so funny at the same time. And there's so many great stories that come out of it, but they have to tell the stories. And there are archives when I'm talking to them on location, where they're talking about these 24-hour stories, like, oh, I tried this, I deleted it, I did this, I deleted it. Next thing I know, it's 4:00 in the morning. I'm like, oh shit, I ain't got nothing written. And they're gonna meet him at 8. It's like, you better get the right. It's great, man. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff. All I could find was that they were there to help people. That's all.
That's the main thing. Is these are all working pros. These are the guys that make a living as an artist or as a writer. They're not a teacher, you know. So they like being able to pay it forward, which is what their whole thing is, and they donate their time. You know, it's not a thing like the contest. You know, like I said, Mr. Hubbard he endowed the contest and continued. You know, he keep it going. So this has been 42 years now, but the judges are flown out. But that's their dime that they're doing this thing. They're not being paid for it, but they're all professionals. You know, these are the guys that are your A-list artists and writers. And then one thing we learned too about, 10 years ago or so, I mean, y'all heard about the starving artists. Well, the winners, especially illustrators, some of them really are that, you know, they're at the beginning of their careers. So we started implementing where we buy a bunch of bars, and for the illustrator side, we also make eggs and put that in the morning when they come and start the workshop that day, so that they're all well fed, and they can really.
They're in a nice hotel too. I mean, Lowe's is a nice hotel. John and them get me a decent suite for it, so I can really get the interviews done. And it's nice because the way the suite's set up, there's a little couch in front of the bed, so I can put them in there. There's a great interview with Tom Wood, Echo Turnick, and Santaz. And they're passing back and forth that big white mic I got. This shit is hilariously funny. It's a really good. There's a lot of information in there, but it is funny as hell at the same time. Because these are 3 grown adults playing with this mic. It's great, and all of these people are pretty well off. I mean, Tom is definitely in the millionaire range, and so is Dan Simmons. He's definitely in the millionaire range.
These guys are all doing well. These are like at the top of their game here.
Just funky, spunky people. But I mean, if you know, ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening to this and you do have a friend out there that's a decent artist or a decent author, you should have them submit. As long as they haven't pro'd out, you should have them submit.
Yeah. So it defines that writersoffuture.com. It defines how you qualify, because it's not for professionals, but it defines what a professional is. But again, it's free. And it also, because we have entries from over 175 countries, and we've had winners from 52 different countries over the years. And it's the thing about it is that as you improve, because there's so many entries, we now have honorable mention, silver honorable mention, finalist, semifinalist, and then winner. So you can monitor your progress as you improve, because some people will enter 45, 50 times before winning or before they pro out. And some people, have been entering for like 15, 20.
You always put Dexter sent you. Actually, no, we have one on the network. We have several of the winners on the network, but
Sean Hazlitt and
Preston
Dennett.
Yeah, he took a little while. I think it was 46 times.
47 times he entered
before he won. Now remember, people, you can submit 4 times a year, so it's not like it's 47 years. I mean, but Preston writes a lot of books. I mean,
actually, if you're artistically inclined, you can double that, and you can submit not only a story, but you could send in an illustration if you are inclined.
Well, some of them do. Some of them actually do both. Like Wendy.
What?
We've had 5
Some-
people who've won both contests.
Oh, really? Oh, that's so cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Wendy's trying. She's trying to win both contests right now. She was one of the winners. She's trying to win both.
3.
Little short, little thing, 5 foot nothing.
3,
She's
yeah.
a,
CL fours,
Yeah.
3 fours.
Yeah.
Fours. Yeah.
so there's a couple of them out there trying to win. Y'all, somebody, we got 9 minutes for the break, but somebody grab a song before we go. Find some patriotic.
I got
Question
one.
for John, real quick. How does
Yeah, you do the
illustration
next one. I
work?
got this one. That was it.
Do you have
What was that, John?
With a, I'm trying to ask John a question actually.
Oh.
How does the illustration side work? Do you have to like hook up with an author and submit?
The way that works
your-
is like you submit 3 pieces of art to begin with, 3 illustrations, and that's how you actually become a first winner. And then once the 3 winners for each quarter are chosen, you're assigned then one of the writer stories that have won. Also that, and so you have 12 writer winners and 12 illustrator winners. Then the 12 illustrators are assigned one of the 12 winning stories, and then the grand prize winner from the illustrator contest is chosen by all the judges who review the 12 pieces of art created for the 12 winning stories. So then that's how they get the grand prize winner. But they're all given one of the writer winning stories to illustrate, and that's what goes into the book.
Cool. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, it's one of the nicest. I don't know how to explain it, but one of the nicest events there is the reveal. So they do a reveal. So the authors, they have the illustrators in there, and the authors come in, and they have to pick the picture for their book. Now, so far, I've been there 6 times, 5 years, 6 times, and they've gotten it right every time, which is amazing
No
to
way.
me.
Good song.
Yeah, every time so far. And so they pick the picture that belongs to their book and the illustrator who done it. It's a very emotional scene. Let's just be honest. There's a lot of crying, a lot of hugging going on.
Yeah, it's really good.
Even after the year of COVID, there was still a lot of crying and a lot of hugging going on. But it's one of the, it's a shame because I get to see the event while I'm there and the whole thing, but it's hard sometimes to get it across to the public because most of this stuff isn't made public. Emily said she'd break my hand or something. She said, you can't. I was like, Emily, let me know. She said, you can do the gate. And I'm like, all right, Emily. And she's like, I said, let me do no. And if she don't tell me no, I got to deal with either. I'm going to leave. Sarah's like, no. I'm like, damn. Like, y'all are just mean. But anyway, there's a lot of stuff that goes on that y'all don't get to see, but you get to hear about it, but you don't get to see it. The reveal is one of them. It's one of those things when you're watching. I mean, of course, it's always going to be better when you're there, but when you're standing in, because I usually stand in the doorway with the camera, watching this, and they just kind of filter in, and it's like little magnets, and then boom, 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 and before long, everybody's standing next to their illustrator, next to their picture, and then at that time, I'm going around pictures, so is everybody else, but it's a very good scene to see, and it's something, I think it's good too for the illustrator and the author because it's a connection made there.
Yeah.
Because wow, he or she seen my work and knew it was right for their book. There's a lot of good stuff, and there's a lot of good. Do I have book 41? Yeah, it's right here. It's there's a lot of good illustrations in there.
Now that's
And
what we just released. It just released a couple weeks ago in UK, in Australia, New Zealand, and South Africa. But it's the Rise of Future 41, and the guy that did this, Craig Elliott, is one that he was the one that did the art for Treasure Planet by Disney, and so this is one of the sketches he did for the movie that wasn't used. So he did this, and then the guy that produced it for Disney, the executive producer, was one of our keynote speakers.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I guess it's dark in the studio for y'all to see, but there's some really good pictures in here. Of course, the one that stands out the most is the redhead. It just pops out for some reason. I don't know why I can't find it. It's but there's a lot of good artwork in here, and each one. What do you mean? You ain't getting this book? You did not see the autographs on the top of these pages? You're not getting this book. Well, I'm not going to even say what you can go do yourself. But this is one I was talking about. Y'all might be able to see this one a little better.
Oh yeah.
Stands out. Even in the darkness, she pops out. You can barely see the one next to it. But I mean that just now So this is the person seeing this and had to identify that with their story. I mean, just that one picture, nothing else. That goes along with their story, and it's an important thing because it covers. We talked about earlier in the other show. People buy books based on covers. I've done it myself. I can't even say I haven't. Yeah. Sometimes I'm like, wow, this is a good book, and sometimes I'm like, fuck, how much did this thing cost me? Can I sell this to somebody? It's just part of it. I mean, there's always the back. You can always look at the back and see what the book's about, but it's nice to see. In a way, I wish I could really see the reveal because it's something that really stands out. It's a moving thing. It's a connection made. And what's really interesting, I find, about all of this is these people make lifelong connections. I talked to some of these people. As a matter of fact, I was talking to a couple of the hosts from about 3 years ago, and they're all still friends. They talk and record. They do work together. They hang out, and every now and then they pester John. And John, being the nice guy that he is, lets them come to Dragon Con and sell their books and their work. And I'm like, John, guys. I'm not. Actually, he does it at all of them. He'll just do it at Dragon Con. He's evil like that. First off, they give him
the owners of the conventions are also so enamored with the contest. Yeah. They give us free badges for the winners, and some of the conventions give us free booth space to have the winners come and sell that. So we just give them a space. They bring their books. We tell them you get your own scanner so you can scan your books, and they keep 100% what they sell. Said no, we'll get your space in there, but you can keep whatever you sell, which nobody else.
And the space is huge. I mean, it's a double space to start off with. Yeah, it's a double space.
High dealer space. That's enormous.
So they get and sometimes they have Turley with them. So if you want to get a picture, I got a picture of it squishing Emily down. Some way I got to get that picture out. Squishing her down.
You're going to be going to a break in a few minutes. I just want to remind everybody again, you invited me on here because of this podcast. So please go to podcastawards.com and vote for Writers of the Future. I'm listed in 3 categories, and that's the art, education, and storyteller drama. And then also, if the first category too, if you're so inclined, is also the podcast, podcast of your choice too, which is the name of some person. But anyway, that's the first category there. But if you go there, that'd be great. And if you've not listened to it, please check it out. It's a lot of work goes into it to make it so it's really good and listenable. And so we're in our 6th year now. It's been going great. And
anyway, it's a good show.
To talk about it.
Yeah, well, it's a good show. And it's a good show for you rookies to base your show on because he's got bigger audiences than y'all do. So he got bigger audiences this year.
That's not why I'm here to talk about that. So what were you saying? What were you saying, Joe?
Oh, I voted for. I got all your votes on those. I think they actually in 4 categories on there, or maybe I made a mistake on one.
Yeah, there's the 4th category too, which is the first.
I voted the other day when I logged in and seen it. Christopher, it's writersofthefuture.com. Check it out. So if you want to get involved in this, writersofthefuture.com, you can go over there and take the free course. If you think you're a writer, it's a good place to go take the course. I've taken the course like 5 times. I still ain't finished it. Well, the end of it, you have to write a thing. And see, when I write a thing, Emily wants me to send it to her, so I got to make sure it's good before I send it to her ass. No, that's not fair treatment. She just wants to torture me. That's all that is. Y'all don't understand our relationship, so don't worry about it. No. It's to torture me. That's what it is. She's going to say, and what the hell is this?
Fireworks.
Emily's
anyway,
done.
Thank you very much, and nice meeting you, Leah, sort of.
Leah.
All right, Sean, have a good one, buddy.
Thank you very much.
John.
John, thanks.
But guys, be sure to catch him. He's, like I said, he's the opening show on Saturday, and he's the show before this one with me on Saturday. Whoever's got the song, go ahead and take us to break, baby.
Listen to that music, man. Sitting there, when I was a teenager, man, smoke a little bit.
That's right after the band changed pretty dramatically. They lost one of the founding members, and John Anderson. He was the lead singer. He left the band the year prior, in '79, and then they lost their keyboard player Rick Wakeman to Jeff Downs, who came from the one that I forget the name of the band, but they were the ones that made the song "Killed the Radio Star." You know,
man.
The Bugles, I think. But anyway, that was a weird transition because the man who replaced John Anderson, Trevor Horn, no one noticed the difference because the vocal pitch is almost identical to John Anderson. And if you close your eyes and you had them both singing a different song than that one, you could not. I'll guarantee you, even if you're a big Yes fan like me, you won't be able to tell which one is John Anderson and which one is Trevor Horn. They are twin voice. They are identical.
Hey! Let me let these promos run before y'all get crazy.
Oh yeah.
Promos. Oh man, we're short on. Anyway, I'll tell y'all about that after a while. Oh, I don't want to cause any trouble. If I don't have to cause any trouble, you know what I mean. Where the hell did it go? There it is. What the hell is that? That ain't nothing. What the hell?
The Power Agency is built for those who move like predators, decide like weapons, and execute like their life depends on it. You're either fully in, or you're in.
Every scar tells a tale of...
The Church of Mavis radio show, Friday nights at 8 p.m., 7 Central, starring Jeffrey Pritchett with his co-hosts Wham and Jay McNicholas, right here on the United Paranormal Radio Network.
Are you ready to explore the unknown? Dive into the world of the strange, mysterious, and unexplained with Eerie Expeditions magazine. Each issue is packed with spine-tingling tales, cutting-edge paranormal investigations, and exclusive insights into hauntings, cryptids, UFOs, and more. Whether you're a seasoned investigator or just love a good ghost story, Eerie Expeditions magazine has something for you. Join our growing community of truth seekers and adventure lovers. Subscribe today at EerieExpeditionsMagazine.com and unlock the secrets of the supernatural. Are you ready? That's EerieExpeditionsMagazine.com, where the extraordinary is just a click away. Dare to discover.
I think I dare to discover all the damn time.
They dare you.
Nature. I mean, it's just part of my nature, I think.
I dare you to go in there.
What's that, Kareem? I don't know. You have to look in the schedule and see. I don't do the shows. Michelle does.
I dare you to eat that pizza.
Half the time, I don't know who the hell's even going on where.
I dare you to eat a whole pizza. I dare you.
I've eaten a whole pizza before. That's a waste.
All right. I guess that's what I'm gonna have. I'm gonna eat a whole pizza.
It's Leah's eaten a whole pizza too before, so that's a waste of it there, man.
They say that it's actually
maybe
it's not healthy because I mean think about the calories and whatever. It's cheese, it's bread, it's sauce. It's actually very good for you.
Well, what's the worst part of the pizza for you? The dough?
Not really. I mean the dough is good, semolina flour. You want some good stuff, man? You know what I mean?
Yeah, 'cause
Olive
mozzarella
oil.
cheese. I mean, mozzarella cheese is not really bad for you. So
I worked
pepperoni.
I worked at a couple pizza places, and the worst part for you is the part right underneath the sauce, because the dough doesn't get cooked all the way. If you take off all the toppings, the underneath part, that touches the pan, is cooked. But if you scrape off all the toppings, the dough's usually like raw still a little bit.
Yeah, I've seen something like that. So what
It's
I
not
do is,
raw, but it's solidified. You know what I mean? But
well,
pizza, I can eat pizza every day. Let's just say that.
yeah. So what I do with them is first I tell them light sauce and extra baked. So because I like my pepperonis crispy. So when
I
you
like
do that, it's cooked.
A Sicilian pizza, like nice thick. You know what I mean? With extra cheese.
Hey, what do you mean, Frank? Any pizza place will do extra baked for you. Yeah. Well, any chain will do it for sure. Domino's is the one that taught me the one you could do it. Yeah. They'll just leave it in a couple extra minutes, and it helps what she's talking about. It also makes the toppings a little more crispy. It makes it a little crispy in the cheese. Yes, it's a better pizza that way. And I'm not really, yeah, and I'm not really a big fan of 5 tons of sauce. I mean, I want sauce on my pizza, but some people like to put like a ladle and a half. No, that's way too much sauce. Maybe a half a ladle. That's about perfect. Don't get no indigestion that way. It's a good pizza. Well, you know what? What's that? What's that? So, Sammy, my dad used to own Sibo's Pizza Hut. It's a Sibo's. It was a pizza place. Yeah, I learned how to make pizzas at 8 years
All
old.
right, you guys are making me hungry. I'm gonna have to go and eat.
I know, but that's.
Wait, we're not into the food porn section.
I was just talking about that. But what was fun about all of that is we had a pinball machine there that paid back money. It didn't give you credits on the thing; it gave you quarters back. I was like, "Get the fuck out of here, really?" So, like, if you hit a big thing, you'd pay you like $8 or $9 or $10. I was like, "Damn!" Back then, $10 is a lot of money, man. I was like, "Damn!" I was like, but you ain't seeing no more like that.
In New York, we call them slot machines, and they're illegal, unfortunately. The joke.
I used to like to play pinball. They had a place on Claiborne. There was a what was it? It was a little restaurant that used to be there. It's actually still there. It's Frostop now, and we'd go in there, and the whole backside of it was pinball machines. And so all the college kids would be in there playing pinball. Well, we weren't in college yet. We were, 16, 17, 18. So we were just sneaking around hoping we'd get lucky. And no, Chris, we're not talking about lucky to get a machine, man. It's not what we're talking about. Then they had a place up the street called on Sorority Alley, on Sorority Row, called the Mushroom. It's still there. It's been there for at least 60 years. And they sell all kind of paraphernalia. I think now they sell weed. But they have a good restaurant downstairs. It's still good, still serving the same menu too. It's and they keep it cheap because it's on Sorority Row. So the kids can come in and get some food. Well, yeah, when you're in college, you're still a kid. Yeah, you're not really an adult yet. You want to be an adult, and when I was 20, or I was like, "Nah, I'm an adult," but not really. I didn't know jack shit about jack shit. It's I can admit it now because I actually know more. Back then, I couldn't. No, no, indeed not. I knew everything when I was 21. What the hell are you talking about? Oh, I don't know what you're talking about. I knew everything, yes. But today, I know a lot. Oh, actually, because you was bitching earlier, I'm letting Pal Talk install on this computer. Yeah. It's been running in the background while we've been talking. I haven't opened anything up on it, but I let it install. We can talk about that. So you're talking about the European alliance. What about it? Could they hold off Russia? What do you think, Mike? Could they hold off Russia?
Nobody can. I think Trump thought he was going to kind of breeze in there and have this great dialogue with Putin. You see, yesterday, Russia launched the biggest attack ever on the Ukraine, over 590 drones, and the Pentagon stopped sending missiles, weapons to Ukraine.
Yeah, because we're giving them whatchamacallit, the thing we gave to Israel.
Herpes?
Yeah, well, maybe so. But no, it sounds like they're going to get one of those Patriot missile systems along with one of those drone killer systems. So we have a couple of drone killer systems now, and I think they're going to give them both.
I don't think Putin. I don't know. You know, Putin's a weird dude, man. I mean, he's got a
right
way out.
now.
He has a way out, but
looking
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
He has a way out, but he doesn't want Trump to take the credit. You know what I mean? Like he still wants to save face. So it's really a crazy situation, man. But it could lead to unbelievable disaster.
Well, yeah, because now stupid ass. Now that we've really sucked up with the Brits, they want to put troops on the ground along with the French. And they want to see troops down. That's right.
Ukraine?
Yeah. They're talking about 24,000 troops.
Poland's ready to roll right now. They're ready to roll right in there.
They said, and you see, this is the real problem. We can tell NATO, see, America's not supposed to be the go-to in Europe. NATO does that, and if they get in a bind, then the Americans come in and save their ass, or try to save their ass, depending on what's going on. That's what's really supposed to go. Same thing with Europe itself. Europe's supposed to defend itself, and if it can't handle it, then we're supposed to come in and help them. Well, Europe is nowhere near ready to defend itself right now. Give them 5 years, 10 years, they will be, because all those deals Trump just cut. But right now, they're not. If Putin was just to roll everything he's got parked along the borders, he would make it in pretty deep before they could stop him. And Putin would lose eventually because he just don't have the resources unless China got involved. So it's one of those things where you're kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't. But America doesn't want to get in any wars right now.
Yesterday, China said we cannot accept Russia losing to Ukraine, is what they said. Whatever that means. What do you think it means?
I think they better watch their asses before they get it kicked. So have y'all been paying attention to what America's been doing lately? So we've been taking ships out of mothball and putting them back in active duty. So pretty soon our Navy, our Navy, if you count our drones, our Navy's already bigger than the Chinese. But these are going back into active duty ships. They had 4 massive destroyers sitting off the coast of North Korea unloading huge amounts of ordnance yesterday, enough to flatten the city. So I think Trump's sending a signal. You want to die, we will kill you.
In Norfolk, they repair not all the ships, but a lot of
them. Yeah.
Yeah, they stepped up the repairs. Some of them were sitting around for years, and now they stepped up. They want them all out.
Oh yeah, they want to put all the fleets out. They're tired of playing around now. And so because we got a bunch of carriers in the Pacific, and we got a bunch of carriers out in the Middle East. So France and them, or the Europeans, are sending 2 carriers to sit off the coast of China.
And we've got Chris Christie. We've got the ultimate weapon of doomsday, Chris Christie. They're going to drop him on Moscow.
No, I don't know. I'm scared he might bounce, man.
They can't find a plane big enough to take him off the ground right now, but they're getting there. They're getting there, man. You know.
Yeah, but by putting 2 inexperienced countries' navies up against each other with 2 very large capital ships against the Chinese, whatever many capital ships they got, carriers. That many inexperienced fighters in the air, if they have an umbrella over the carriers, and that many uneasy shoremen or seamen that are on those boats, that's what can start World War III. So all you have to do is actually kill the wrong plane, and boom, just like the Lusitania.
Well, okay, so remember this, Jay. You can't start World War III without America. Let's just be honest about that.
Yeah.
You can kind of try to start it, but without America, you're really not starting World War III. So even though the Brits do have nukes, they have more nukes than China does, by the way.
Yeah.
So the thing about China is China has 2 carriers. They've been running in patrol. I watched the whole stat and the whole 9 yards on their carriers. Their carriers suck. They're like you know what they go to the Kitty Hawk class, not even the Nimitz class. The Kitty Hawk class was before the Nimitz class.
Yeah.
That's where these carriers are. So they're really. I don't know.
Kind of boats my dad was playing with when he did the top secret sonar work for the Navy. They used the Kitty Hawks to hunt subs in the Bermuda Triangle to see if his sonar was better than the regular sonar.
So, and as far as the big carriers, the new carriers, they don't really have anything like that out there. And really, they don't even look like they're building anything like that out there.
With our sub-silent techniques and our more advanced, from whatever it is that my dad developed for the Navy, they have something even better now. It's way above my dad's top secret grade level.
China don't want to challenge our Navy, and they don't want to challenge our Air Force.
They
So
can.
the only thing they can challenge is the ground forces, which they can on that. With 1.4 billion people, they can challenge our ground forces. But the problem with that is the Europeans are just going to lob bombs on them and kill them by the tens of thousands. It's just a bad scene all the way around.
Yes.
The Russians.
I don't think there's going to be a war. I don't.
Probably won't be. They probably won't be. Not a big war anyway. The Russians, they have equipment, but most of it, as we've seen from the Ukraine, is kind of crappy. And their soldiers are untrained. So this is what it really comes down to when you're talking about going to war. The United States has 6 decades of trained fighters. 6 decades. Okay, that's 60 years of people who have killed other people and done it efficiently. And what's worse than that is they've got 6 decades of proven equipment, how it works, where it works, and where it works best. Right. The Russians and Chinese do not have that. And every time the Russians try to get into a war like Afghanistan, they got their ass kicked.
And we get to learn all about all their stuff. So it makes us aware intelligence-wise, and then we can just whomp on them.
So that's another thing Russia's worried about, because a lot of that stuff in the Middle East was top of the line. It didn't even slow us down. China doesn't have anything really better. As far as that kind of equipment goes, China got some badass stuff, though. I don't want to just short sell them, because they do have carrier killers. They got hypersonic missiles that can hit our ships in about 50 or 60 seconds.
Not underwater.
If we're close enough. If we're close enough. Problem is, for China or Russia, anyone who sinks one of our carriers just lost a city. For every carrier you sink of ours, you sacrifice one city. What city it is, I don't know, but you're going to sacrifice it.
When we have to strike range, I would imagine be the first.
And they're probably not going to use a nuke. They're going to probably use Thor's hammer, which the Chinese have now verified exists, by the way. Pissed them off so fierce it wasn't even funny. Xi Jinping had no idea what it was. Now they know it exists. So Thor's hammer could take out Hong Kong and not have any nuclear left, nothing nuclear left behind. Just flatten the whole city. And probably drop out 3 of them on it, and then we just come in and take it over. Yeah, so it's one of those things. And China doesn't want to get in a war. Xi Jinping said it more than once. He does not want a war with the United States. It's just not a thing that he wants to get into.
What he needs, and he knows it, is a healthy, competitive trade market. And he's not going to get that with Trump if he doesn't play ball.
Problem for Xi Jinping is, no one will ever trust him as long as they're communist. China will have to reform its government for world peace. Russia's government, as we already know, is corrupt, and when Putin's gone, they'll straighten it out. But
I'm starving. I have to go. I have to eat something before I die.
All right, Leah. Have a good night.
Good night.
Yeah, thanks for coming in.
Pizza.
Okay, I'll eat pizza.
Pizza. Oh, that's an whole
Jane? Oh, awesome. You'll love Ibiza.
Okay.
You freaks.
Not Domino's. Pizza.
You bunch of freakies. And and I don't know where this count for 600 Chinese bombs are. Most of the time I look, they're like 89 or 90.
Last year they had 400, but they've been like mass producing, man. That's kind of crazy.
I don't know. I've seen several charts that say they have like 88 and 89. They're not that easy to produce.
They just ignited a neutron bomb the other day. Last week it was super powerful. I mean, I don't know. They're doing what they're doing. I mean,
we're gonna see, but they'll die, so I'm not really worried about them. I'm more worried about us and Russia because we're the ones that can do the
I'll
real.
be back, guys. I'll be back.
We can he can do the real damage. Oh, wait, let me get this down. Sorry, I can, I love this full screen feature when we're looking at stuff. You can pop it up and see things much better. What is it, Ryan? Where are you at? You in Alcatraz Island? That's what you're talking about? Oh, Alligator Island. That's where you live around there. Well, good for you. What about it? Who do you think will start the war? Putin's not. I mean, Trump's not going to start a war now.
I don't think there'll be any war begun. I think what the most likely scenario is going to happen is Tehran or somebody from Iran is going to activate a sleeper terrorist cell. There's going to be something bad happen somewhere in the world, and then we're going to go over there and erase them like we did to Iraq all those many years ago. So if anyone is smart, they'll come to the table first and negotiate. But we've shown that the Iranians don't want to come to the table. They keep on saying one thing and doing something else. So I think there will be brief conflict, but it will only be like an ass kicking. It's not going to be anything drawn out or violent or even sexy.
Yeah, it's well, if the Ayatollah had people here, we'd already heard about it.
Yeah,
he already. Besides that, and if he does have people here, he's thinking, "Oh no, we're not going there," because these assholes are not going to play that. They already realize that Trump's serious, and he will come kill them all.
Yeah, I think he knows that, but I don't think he's afraid of that either.
So in 1992, Russia had 26,030 nukes.
Wow.
We had 13,000. The Ukraine had 1,700. Kazakhstan had 1,400. France had 536. The Ukraine still got the same amount. China had 234. Belarus had 81, and Israel had 59.
And none of these numbers hash with what those numbers were, so we don't know what happened to the weapons.
Let me show you this, man.
They supposedly were destroyed. I mean, that's what was supposedly going on.
Did you see it? I didn't see it. Where's the evidence of it?
Well, yeah.
So China's got. Where am I? Here I am. China's got this. All right. China's new weapon shocks the world. It is a hydrogen bomb. Is it a game changer?
We have that.
So but this is much different and lighter, and this one weighs just 2 kilograms. Operates on completely different mechanism than traditional nuclear bombs. But they could make this available to an Iran, to anybody really.
Actually, they can't. That's an act of war. No, they can't. So under the treaty, because they're under the treaty too. Under the treaty, if they do, that's an act of war against Russia and the United States, not just the United States. It's against anybody who has a nuclear weapon. They just declared war against. So they can't go around. That's why Russia don't go around selling them, because Russia knows they would get killed for it. In the end, if you have a nuke, you can't sell another nuke to someone else unless they already have
or
a nuke.
Even trade the technology, like give them information to help them advance their own systems.
Yeah. If you help somebody to make a nuke, you've just declared war probably against the whole fucking planet.
Yeah.
It's just that's a fucked up thing, but that's just the way it is. But as far as I know, like the SALT II treaties and all have been gone. We took them down. We took them away.
China also displayed their new. Yeah. They also displayed their new graphite bomb, which takes out communications and whatever these slivers of graphite rain down and knocks everything out. So, I mean, we've got to be, we had Democrats in there, man. So we weren't doing the weapon thing under Democrats, right? The research, I mean, it goes into the back seat.
Well, not exactly. So if these companies already had research contracts with it, there's nothing the Dems could do but let them do their contract. That's why the 47, that jet, the 47, that's why it's being developed still. The Democrats couldn't stop it. The 36 couldn't stop it. Those 2 jets are being developed no matter what. And so the 47 is going to make this weird electric field around itself that repels drones. It's going to be able to do Mach 3 and repel drones while it's flying. and see you long before you can see it.
Well, with Democrats, they can always mess with funding and stuff like that.
Certain funding they can't because they get sued and they have to pay it anyway.
They can
And
put-
you don't want to have to pay something if it gets into the general public that you're taking down something that's good for the country and going to get sued and give them the money anyway. American public don't like that shit, and so
Well, I
they
mean-
don't do it much.
They
Will take money where they can, but they usually make places to take money. That's how the Democrats do it.
China's geared up for war. It looks like. I mean,
And of course they are.
you know,
They're gearing up. They want to be a world power. They're tired of being bullied by the United States, so they want to be a world power. That's what it is. But the problem is the U.S. has things that they just don't have. We have abilities that they're still 50 years away from having. So they can make up some things, but like their 6th generation jet compared to ours, they tried to. The guy the other day tried to compare it to the F-22. An F-22 pilot was looking at it and said, that thing doesn't handle nothing like the F-22. He said, I'd already killed that motherfucker. So, they're not, and the Air Force is kind of small. They're really going to spend a lot of money on it. They don't really have the money right now. Trump is putting a squeeze on their nuts. $11 trillion with 1.4 billion people is not a lot of money.
Well, just the amount of Los Angeles and Ohio class submarines we have in the Navy, if you station them off of anywhere near enough to strike China's cities, each one of those boats can shoot off at least, I'm just going to average about 300 different missiles if it's fully loaded. That's torpedo-based ones and vertical stack-based ones.
Yeah, because Jay and I figured out how much these motherfuckers were lying the other day. Oh, we can only carry 12 missiles. Well, you just launched 55 missiles at somebody the other day. Wait a minute, man.
From one sub, yeah.
Yeah, and then we found out that Trump launched 99 from one sub. So we now know that their numbers are much higher than what they fucking told anybody.
Well, not only that, but we also know we have at least 4 or 5 different missile systems that are launched from torpedoes.
Oh yeah,
style things from our Navy. Then some are wire, fly-by-wire to remote control device. Others.
Now they've got. I forgot the name of it. So they've got a 10 kiloton nuke on a torpedo. It don't even have to hit anything. So, like, say you're cruising, you're fleeting around. Here's your carrier, and here's your 4 support ships.
Yeah.
It just goes under, poof, and all 5 of them ships are dead. They're gone.
Yeah.
They're cracked in half and sinking, and you're sitting there going, "Fuck."
Well, the model of torpedo we're using now is the ADCAP 54, I believe. So that means it goes 54 knots underwater. That's how fast that torpedo is. That's pretty fast.
Yeah, and then they got the ones we have stealth torpedoes now. That's fucking crazy, stealth torpedoes. It's eventually China will get to those points, but by the time they get there, we'll be somewhere else. That's the whole point.
No, by the time China gets to that, China will become America.
Well, China made some sacrifices. They wanted to become a spacefaring race much more than they wanted to become a military race. So they put a lot of money into their space program, and they do plan on putting bases on Mars. Actually, Russia and them plan on putting bases on Mars. Robotic bases in the beginning because they want to start mining helium-3. They want to be able to sell refined helium-3 to nations on this country like ours, which would greatly reduce our dependency on anything. And eventually, we're already planning on going up there and mining it. So Artemis is scheduled for later in this year, I think. Be the first time we're going back to the moon with man in a long time. And China's not going with men yet. They've been sending robots. Sending men to somewhere is not as easy as sending a robot. A robot, you just pack into something and send that fucking thing.
Yeah,
Humans, you got to have all kind of life support systems and cooling systems and shit. It just ain't the same thing. Maybe if Trump
got his robots, man. He's ready.
Yeah, so maybe if Trump evicts Eli, then maybe China will get him. Trump said twice now. He said keeps it up, I'm gonna boot his ass out of our country.
Trump's he's temporary, man. Elon Musk is in it for the long run. I mean,
yes. Trump 4 years though with the power he's with. Our biggest problem for America is not so much where Trump's going, it's who's going to take over. Because if a Democrat takes right over, he's going to undo half of everything Trump did.
Absolutely.
Just right off the bat, especially if it's like an AOC, they're going to come in and just almost anything Trump did, they're going to overturn or turn around. So it has to be a Republican that wins, or at least a centrist, but it has to be somebody like that, so that whatever the program is keeps running for another 8 years. Then they're permanent. You can't just get rid of them. And if they're doing good, you can't get rid of them anyway because the country won't go for it. And to be honest with you, Mike, I'm not sure if the Democratic Party is going to make it to 2028. I mean, come on, they're putting the socialists in New York. They want to put it. We've all seen. We got to go get this videotape, but we've all seen this fucking socialist in New York.
Who? Bernie Sanders?
No, the guy who wants to be governor.
Sohan.
Oh.
Yeah,
that
guy, the anti-Israel guy.
Yeah.
He's anti-white. He's anti-Israel.
He's anti-Israel. He's a racist.
Absolute racist, yeah. And a liar too.
So I don't even know how he's going to get there. So really, more than likely, if
He's a liar. He
Adams,
could do well in politics.
if Adams does right, he should win. But if Cuomo gets in and runs as an independent, this guy's going to be the next governor. I mean, the next mayor, because he'll pull half the votes away from.
I thought Cuomo was already in racing.
No, Cuomo lost.
Oh.
He lost to this guy. He lost to this socialist guy. And but Mike was breaking down the stats the other night. What is it? 900,000 people voted or could vote.
Yeah, Cuomo said there's fraud. The guy lied on his college application saying he's black. He's not black. You know, black people are very angry about that. They came out to protest the other day. You know, so there's a lot of controversy around the guy.
Wait, let's see. Wait, what's Elon doing?
They applied themselves to a young campaign, though, a young group of voters.
I'm joining this. I didn't mean to cut you off, Mike, but Elon Musk. Hold on. I didn't mean to cut Mike off, but I have to talk about this real fast. I seen this just came up. Elon Musk announces launch of his own political party one day after Trump signs the bill. Go, Elon! I'm joining, man. Hopefully, it's a centrist party because I'm joining. That's it. I'm going to be a Musker.
You know, what's it
It's
called?
the Drax Party. The Drax Party.
Oh, it might be the Drax party, Mike. You never know. Fucker, man. If y'all know who Drax is, shame when you go watch some fucking James Bond.
Join us or else.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, he only wanted perfect. He was a Hitler. I guess that was a play on
only
him.
genetically pure was allowed.
Except for Jaws, for some reason, he had a
And
crush
his-
on Jaws or
And his
something.
scrawny little blonde-haired girlfriend.
Yeah. Who was like super strong. It's those were villains in the movies. Yes. No, Jaws' girlfriend always was dressed up like one of those Swedish girls, and she had blonde curls, but she was really strong. It was weird.
She had glasses.
Yeah, and glasses. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
She had the whole outfit, the whole get up. Yeah,
Braces,
Right.
too.
She had braces,
I
right?
think she had braces,
Yeah.
too.
yeah. She had some saying. She had the whole get up. It was something else. Well, yeah, the world is what the world is. Look, we didn't make the world. We allowed the world to get like this, but we didn't make it. Well, when I said that, it's by the humans. We vote. You know, Russia's supposed to be a democratic republic. They're supposed to be like us. They just keep changing rules for Putin because he's ex-KGB and all. And Medvedev, or whatever his name is, seems to be all but giving him regular blowjobs. So with him doing that, it's not going to change. Well, Putin's in his mid-70s. And I think if Putin dies, once he goes, I don't think they're going to put Medvedev back in. They're going to put somebody else in. Because the country really wants to be like America. When you talk to the people there, they want to be like us. The politicians just want to be greedy, piggy bastards. And Russia, you know, I remember, who was it? Reagan, not Reagan, it was one of the presidents down, I think it was one of the Bushes, told him, look, you don't have to have a military. We can be friends. We can protect you. And they were actually considering it, you know, just doing away with the military and being friends with us. Because really and truly, when it comes down to it, we don't need all these militaries on the planet.
No.
You know? I mean, we can just beef up ours and take it from other people and be the guardian of the planet. Because I sure ain't going to trust the Russians. That's the problem, though. there's not enough people going to trust us.
Yeah, and that kind of implies you have to have all the same laws. We don't.
Well, you don't have exactly the same laws. Religious freedom would be a must, but the laws, it could be like Starfleet, where the worlds could still have their own governments, but they would still have to abide by a certain group of moral laws. Like, you can't kill these people because they're black, or you can't kill them because they're gay, or things like that. You could still not have to accept them in part of your society. That would still be considered part of the thing, but it would be a tough go in the beginning. But we're gonna have to do something. We can't keep it like this. There it is. Yeah, there you go.
She doesn't have braces. They say it's the Mandela effect, man.
Oh, maybe it is.
Everyone remembers her having braces, but they're saying that she never.
Maybe it is. Maybe it is. Look, well, maybe it's because he's got that big brace in his mouth, that big jaw thing.
It actually ruined his teeth.
It's.
What?
No, I've actually heard him talk about this before. He actually liked it, Bone. It was a kind of strange thing. But the reason he's up there is because we were talking about Drax, the guy he works for, the evil guy who wants the perfect race. These two were not part of his perfect race. That's why they turn on him, because Bond, tells him, "Hey, look, yeah, Moonraker, that's the one." No, what's his face had retired by then. He got his. Yeah, he retired. He went and did something else. I forgot what he went and did. He went and did something else. Yeah, well, he got, he was knighthood. He got his knighthood, man. Dun 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 dun. No, Roger Moore played this one. Yeah, he was first American to play Bond.
Roger Moore's not American.
Nobody thought he could do it.
No, Roger Moore's not an American.
Well, that's what they said the other night on the Bond thing. They said he was American.
Really?
Yeah. Sean Connery was British. He got a knighthood.
This is Drax.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised too by it. But when you look at him, listen to him talk, he sound American. It's
he looks a little like Elon. Right?
There he is. He does kind of look like a little. His son might look more like him. We don't know.
Yeah.
But I think the little one's going to be Drax. Elon's already too old. He's 55. By the time we get to Mars, he'll be 65, 70. I mean, once we get a good colony there. But, you will live longer on Mars because you won't have as much pressure on your heart. You won't feel all that arthritis because your bones won't be all crunching up because there won't be all that gravity tugging on you. Oh, yeah, it'll be a different life, yeah. Well, see, that's what's funny about Mars. If you're younger, it's going to cause damage. But if you're older, like say within 5 years of your death, it's going to probably add 20 years to your life. That's the weird part. And who are you blinking into my thing over here? I know it's weird, but it's kind of the way the universe is. So it'd be a good place. I guess Mars could be the retirement community.
That could be the new Florida.
Yeah, that's it. It could be the new Florida. Look, people don't look at me. I'm sure there'll be places with centrifuges where there'll be a 1G environment where you can go, hang out and walk, and or they might build a whole city that spins, creates 1G
in the opposite direction.
Yeah, it's not going to spin that fast to create 1G. No, we spin at that speed, 63,000, something like that, 63,000 miles an hour. But that's the Earth. You don't have to spin that fast to create 1G then. Or they might put it in space, and then you just go up to space and walk around and hang out in your 1G environment and go back down. Well, the reason they have to have a 1G environment is because of babies. If somebody gets somebody pregnant, because if you don't have if that kid's not growing up in a 1G environment, they're going to be problems.
So what if somebody does have a Mars baby, and then that planet of origin would be the Mars? That'd be a huge deal.
It is going to be a huge deal. The first Mars baby, and you know what? If you don't have the 1G environment, you start having Mars babies, they're going to start changing. They're going to start looking different than us.
Mm-hmm.
Their bodies are going to shape differently than ours.
It might be taller.
Yeah, because like chickens born in space were born without feet. It's without legs actually. It's
More chicken legs, man. I love chicken legs.
well, see, I don't know on Mars. That's in space. So Mars would be different because it does have some gravity.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got about a third of gravity we have, something right around there.
Well, the size of Mars is 1/5 that of Earth.
We're not going to see it in our lifetime, but there are obviously there's going to be
Well, the gravity
Mars
of
Mars
Mars is our moon,
civilization.
roughly.
Mars babies are human based, and interesting stuff, man.
It's going to be different, that's for sure. I mean, people are going to look different at the world. It's kind of like what was that Get Your Ass to Mars movie? When they got to Mars. Yeah, thank you, Total Recall. And when they got there, those people were starting to mutate in different ways, and that's probably how the humans are going to be until they finally mutate into whatever race they would be, and watch it be the fucking Greys. They will all be going, oh fuck, we know where these bastards came from.
But what happened to the Martian mutants in that movie, Total Recall? They were all what? Psychics.
Yeah, that's true. They were all psychics.
Almost all of them were psychics.
Yeah. I'll
Jimmy,
tell you,
don't know.
I was reading an article today about this algae that they want to use up there to create oxygen, and they think that they can get the atmosphere going with this stuff. They're moving into that direction.
Yeah.
But I'm going to have the first Mars pizza shop. I'm going to actually have the first Mars block of stores, strip mall. You know what I mean? So I'm going to have pizza, Chinese food, Indian food, man. We're going to offer it all.
Yeah, that's what's that?
What's time to wait for a pizza to come down from the sky in like 30 minutes? Because each time you throw it, you got to wait 30 minutes for it to come back.
I know for it to come back. It's no, you'll have to have a thing on there that brings it back down.
We'll do that.
That's the Mars Chronicles. So in the Mars Chronicles, he was building his restaurant because he knew they were going to start mining out there, and they were going to start coming by on a highway and stopping at his restaurant and buying hamburgers and hot dogs and all kind of shit. It's man, can you see growing beef up there? That's going to be interesting.
There's going to be
bigger too, wouldn't they?
There's going to be delivery tubes, man. You put your stuff in a tube. Elon's all about tubes. That's his whole love tubes.
What's that, Karen? No, we're talking about living on Mars. Yeah, because eventually, I mean, soon, within 20 years, there'll be a colony on Mars. Within 100, there'll be several million people living on Mars.
And they're going to have replicators. So think about that. Or just the whole 4D printing, 5D printing, and whatever they've got. I mean, they're doing amazing stuff with that these days.
Yeah, so in 100 years from now, little Drax is going to turn around. He's going to look at Earth from his colony on Mars, and all of his satellites are going to turn around to the sun and melt us. And then he's going to have Earth all to himself.
I don't know.
I'm just saying. That's why. But he's done. He's going to have 46,000 satellites around our planet. 46,000.
It already sounds like the Drax scenario anyway.
It sounds like he's got the ability to do something.
Well, how would you? He would have to build some kind of machine to keep those satellites separated, right?
No, they satellite. They're all got AI in it. They run on their own. Whatever they go right where you tell them.
Really? That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's called tasking a satellite. When they task it, they can make it where whatever orbit, whatever. I mean, it's limited. But
and Elon was slick, so he made these satellites so he can turn them upwards, so you can't see them. So instead of being flat, where the sun's reflecting back and forth, so you can see them shining across the sky like you see a lot of other satellites, he flipped them sideways so you can't see them, because he was putting so many of them up there. He didn't want you to look like there was a net over you when you looked up. That's why he did that.
Yeah, he didn't want everybody to be scared once all the weapons were in place, so he can launch his destructive.
So as far as we know, we already know there's a panel on there to catch energy. He might be just waiting. He could just burn the whole planet like a giant mirror. He might have a virus on there. He might have something else. We have no idea what the man's got up on them satellites because nobody cares. Nobody's looking. That's what I'm saying. Nobody's looking. Nobody's paying attention what's going on.
Hey, Foxy has a question. Does anybody here have Starlink?
I do
No,
not.
not anymore. A good friend of mine, Jason, had it before he passed, and then we had it for a little while, but we don't need it here. We got a different kind of
It's
connection.
unreliable, so I don't want it.
No, it's not. If you set it up right, it works great. But you got to set it up right.
I'll tell you, dude. With this heavy clouds and things like that, you're gonna have a lot of disruption.
Oh no, that's satellite. That's not the same thing as this.
That
This
is
actually no. This isn't satellite. This is it. It's not the type of signal. It'll actually go through the cloud.
I've got this thing called Skyroam, and Sky is my own hotspot, and it works anywhere and anywhere. You know, it can work in 140 countries. I use it in hotels, whatever. It's also a VPN, so it's great, man. If I'm offline, I use that to be online, and now I never miss a connection. So I use it in Utah, going 80 miles an hour across the damn state from south to north, and did never lost internet not once.
Wow.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, they got some. They got some pretty serious stuff out there because all the new sat phones. It doesn't matter where you are in the world or what you're doing, and no matter how cloudy it is outside, you can still use your sat phone. It's just a different type of wave now. The old waves is like if you've got like Dish TV, the clouds could mess with them. But even now, even the newer versions of Dish TV, the clouds don't mess with near as much as they used to. They're getting better and better and better. But Elon's got a little bit more high tech than that.
So those SAC phones, can you call a regular cell phone with them?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you can call anything. Well, you can run internet on them and anything you want. That's what they are, sat phones. And they're not near as expensive as they used to be. But one thing about a sat phone, it don't matter where you are on the planet, you can call home.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wonder how
Pick it
much
up.
one of them costs.
I had one. I paid $129 for the phone. It was a $89 a month thing, and if I went past the very few minutes they gave me, it came out to about $1.25 a minute.
Yeah, I had one. It was $1 a minute, man. But
And now they're better. Now they don't charge you by the minute, and the fees are different, and the phones are better because the first phone I ever had was this long. It looked like one of them old walkie-talkies you see from World War II. It looked like that. And then,
Yeah, I know what you mean.
and then I got to upgrade to one that was about this big and about this thing, and it had a solid big antenna on top of it.
this is my Skyroam. This all you can hook up 10 devices to this thing, man. And
Yeah, these days, everything's compact these days, so it's a whole different world now.
I've never not had a connection with this. So it saved my ass. When the power goes out, internet goes out, this thing keeps me online, broadband, high speed internet. So it's not bad. Not bad. I mean,
How does that work?
it's cell tower, so it's got an electronic SIM card, so it hooks up to any cell tower. They have a deal. It could be government utility, anything like that. It'll connect to any cell tower anywhere. As long as you're within range, and you can even look to see what towers are around. But I've never had a problem. I'm in a terrible area, the Finger Lakes, where we have really bad problems with cell connection, especially down by the lake. If you're down by the lake, you got a lot of land in the way, that type of thing. Not a lot of cell. With this thing, I've always stayed connected to the internet. I can use my phone through it, so it's good to have in the car. I just turn it on and toss it, and you got it. They have a better one now. I mean, I bought this one in 2020. They have one that's 5G. This one's 4G, but people like it. I mean, it's reliable at least.
I don't know. I mean, I used to like my sat phone, but it was a cool phone, but you could go anywhere with it. I always hated that hard ass antenna they had on it there.
I don't even talk anymore. I talk to you guys the most. You know what I mean?
I think I remember somebody telling me just recently you can get them as cheap as $250. He said his was really ugly, but you get them as cheap as $250. I forgot what he told me what the service was, but there's a lot of different things out there too. Zello and all them; those are different types of communicators. Now, if you want one of them,
connected, man.
And of course, the ones with the big antennas and the hard antennas, them bitches, they ain't nothing stops them. Those are almost military grade.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as I know, military grade sat phone, you can't stop it. Just nothing can block it. Maybe somebody putting up some kind of wave or something might block it. But what do you mean, Frank? Well, if you get the information, send it to me. Yeah.
There you
No,
go.
I don't mind sending it to you. Just send it over.
You get a bundle. Look, $95. Get one. $75. You can rent a satellite phone. So
The one
yeah,
with the floating antenna looks like the one from Jurassic Park movies.
They,
So which would you prefer, the satellite phone or the other one?
I use my Skyroam. I wouldn't need a satellite phone, and even then, if you're not pointed southwest or if you're having cloudy days, that could interfere with it, but not as reliable. I mean,
No, if you get a real sat phone, ain't nothing interfering with it. You just point a bitch. You don't even have to point it. Put it right by the side you eat and go. It's
if you're in canyons, right? I mean, as long as you have a southwest view, you can get a signal up usually. But like with the cell phone is line of sight, cell tower is largely line of sight, and now 5G has a more narrow.
Cell phones. You can get screwed on. I could be underwater on my damn sat phone and get a signal. It's just if you got the real thing. I'm telling you, if you got the real thing, you ain't gonna ever have a problem with a signal because they're almost military grade, and there is no military cell phone or sat phone on this planet. Doesn't matter where you are, you be in a fucking cell, and the bitch still gonna call out.
When I was on the Hopi Reservation out in northern Arizona, they blocked signals specifically for like AT&T and Verizon because they want you get a message, and then they want you to pay them as a pass through. So you can get your signal out, you know what I mean? And I was using Skype. I was like, screw them. I have internet. I'll use Skype all day long. And that's how I was calling people out when I was on the res. But there's always a way. There's always a way to call out.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Who do you got to talk to that bad?
Yeah, I know. Well, that's the thing. I mean, sat phone are for explorers. People are going to be deep in jungles, things like that.
Yeah,
places places or big forests, places there's no connections for your internet or for your phone.
Oh yeah,
it's that's what they're really for. So this one you can pay $5.30 a month for 500 minutes. Yeah, whatever. You can suck my what.
It's still $1 a minute. You know what I mean, and more. And they'll get you all kinds of fees. They fee your ass up.
Then it shows you where it'll call on the world, and if you want more coverage, you have to pay more money.
My first cell phone they charged by the minute, and I became the master of a 59-second conversation. I'm like, blah, 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 see you later. Yeah, man, remember those days? Oh my God.
All I remember is when I used it, I always tried to keep the calls under 10 minutes because as long as I did, it didn't cost me anything. If I went over, it was going to cost me money. I was like, you piece of crap thing. But I got to tell you, I was in a forest in Florida. It's you drive 7-8 hours across this thing and never see anybody. Every now and then you see a cop or something. So we pulled in and we were in the middle of the damn thing. I said, my cell had 0 signals. Linda's cell had 0 signals. I pull out the sat phone, turn it on, picks up. It's got a signal right off. But started calling, and I was calling. I was calling Jay, and I picked it up and I'm talking, and then I look down. So this thing tells you if someone's trying to break in or listen in to your conversation, and it shows some number on it that looks like it's trying to get into the conversation. So we weren't really talking about anything important other than we were going to look at this one place to see aliens, and that was it. And so I hung it up, and I called the number back. Fucking Air Force Base. Which happened to be in the name. Well, yeah, they do. So we went on this base, and this base had 2 different chemical biological weapons places on it. And they had little signs about yay wide, about yay long. It said chemical biological research. one on this side of the road, one on that side of the road, and they were about 50 miles apart. And I was like, is this one place that's 50 miles apart? And then, my stupid ass, we come driving back. And it's like, let's go see. So we take a right. We go up this gravel road. And you get up this road, and all of a sudden it turns into a concrete road. I'm like, well, this is cool. You drive a little while, man, there's a massive facility back there. I just turned around and went the other way. Who wants to be around a biological chemical research facility?
Nobody.
That's right, as I said. So
That's where every bad sci-fi movie begins.
Yeah.
They're right there.
we're turning the fuck out of here. I mean, seriously, I didn't. It was spooky, weird. We went up both roads just to go see, but both of them had huge facilities on them. I was like, nope. I don't
Northern New Mexico, man. It's all freaking uranium mines, like that whole area. Shiprock and around there, they're just huge uranium mines. Big fences, radiation, stay out. Like they think you got to be told to stay out. Like this radiation, stay out. Well, like, oh yeah, I get it. I'm not going in there to begin with, Mr. Radiation.
What do you mean, Chrissy? No, most of the people who watch us on TV watch us in Roku.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we do have YouTube and Rumble and all that to listen, but they're more for storage than they are for anything else. No, there's probably 40, 50,000 people watching on Roku. Yeah, tell them hi, and they're doing whatever their thing is. What do you mean? No, Roku don't give a shit what we do. These guys could be dancing naked in the moonlight. They still wouldn't care.
Roku knows that we're using humans as batteries for their body heat, and that's how we power our systems, man. We're green energy.
You're not allowed to watch The Matrix no more. Okay.
The chat is green energy.
Who's Philip Morris? You mean the cigarette company? Is that what you're talking about?
Don't they make candy too? Don't they make candy? Breakfast cereal.
Some breakfast cereal looks like plastic too, just like that margarine did. I was like, look at this shit.
But you know what? They don't smell the same, man. Marlboros, when I was a kid, actually smelled good. They smelled good. Whether you smell the smoke or whether you smell the cigarette itself, it smelled. My father
I smoked Winston, and it tastes good like a cigarette should.
My father had a repair shop and gas station, and he had a cigarette machine. They were 45 cents a pack when I was 8 years old. I remember that. So I bought a pack, and then I smuggled them to my friends. We went to Candy Cane Park, this little park. We whipped out the cigarettes, and we all took them 8-year-olds. It's kind of funny when you think about it now.
Well, I actually started smoking because of stupidity. I was bringing a friend of mine a cigarette, and I puffed on it to keep it lit. And then after a couple of times of doing it, a few days, man, I was like, motherfucker gives you a buzz. It doesn't after you've been smoking years and years, it doesn't, but
it was cool though, dude. And there was people I respected. I grew up around a lot of military old guys from either, way back World War II, or some of them were from Vietnam or in Korea. They smoked cigarettes and they told their stories and whatever. And women that was kind of sexy and whatever,
I gave up cigarettes 14, 18 years ago. It's funny. I gave up cigarettes the first time when I got out of the Navy. When I got out of boot camp, I quit smoking, no problem. And we're sitting in Houston on the tarmac waiting to go somewhere. And I'm watching this plane coming down the tarmac, and we're still sitting there. Well, I don't know if it touched the top of the plane or something, but they made us all get off the plane because this other plane went over because it almost hit us. I'm pretty sure the wheels actually did hit the plane because they put us on a different plane. And I asked the guy, he had something smoking. He had a little Clint Eastwood cigar, and I smoked that. And after that, I ended up smoking for another.
I used to smoke those Denoblis, man. I love a Denobli.
Well, they also called them backwoods. They branded that as a Clint Eastwood. It was
You know where he got them from, man? I read the story that when he was decking himself out for that role, he went to Beverly Hills, Rodeo Drive, actually. That's where he got his poncho, and that's where he got the little cigars, because the cigars had tips on them, so he broke the tips off, and that was like because he figured the character should have like a little cigar. That was kind of cool, man. I like a cigar. Don't you like a cigar once in a while?
I
Yeah.
do. And I like the little ones. That they, every now and then one of my stepkids will bring me one, and they turn out. I'll smoke some from time to time, but it's what's that, Jimmy? No, vapes are bad for you. No, they bad for you.
Vapors are very bad.
They
Well,
kill you,
I'm,
man.
I'm still alive. I'm still
They
alive. I
kill
love
you,
my
dude.
vape.
Or they
Vape-
turn you
I'll
into
tell you
Dexter,
what's
one
great.
or the other.
I smoke these Juuls, right? And I'm telling you what, you can bring this little thing into work, go back into the cooler, think of the next piece of meat you're going to be
Dude,
cutting
what it
up,
does to your lungs,
and
man.
then, oh, you know what? Let me tell you about it. They did CT scans because of the cancer spots on my lungs, and that's the only thing wrong with my lungs. And I've been Juuling for about 6 years now.
Yeah, well, that's still not a good thing. You need to get rid of all of that. You need to be healthy, live to be 100.
Why do you want to be healthy? Why can't I be 63 and
150.
enjoy life?
Well, you
If
can
you-
do that
if you-
too.
I'm
You
crazy.
can do that too.
If you listen, Joe, if you think I'm crazy right now, can you imagine without my nicotine? I'm telling you, dude. Oh man, I'd crawl.
I gave it, dude. I was smoking about 2 packs
Crawl
a day.
through the computers, and somehow make it down to Mississippi, and we'll talk about it.
Look, I smoked for a long time, and I got up to 2 packs a day, and I smoked Winston Reds, which are full cigarettes, no playtime, and I did, and then I quit, and I
How'd
just
you do
quit
it?
like that.
What'd you do? Just quit.
I said, "Fuck it," I quit.
Wow.
I
You
said,
gained
"Enough
weight?
of it." Nope, I
Wow.
didn't gain weight till I stopped smoking weed. Figure that one out.
Wow.
That's why I went back. I was like, the guy's like, what? He said, wait, what? That don't even make sense. I said, yeah, that's what I fucking said.
That don't make
It's,
not at all.
It's but no, the cigarettes were easy. I mean, I shouldn't say they were easy, but I had to go. I was in the hospital. I had to get that stint. So I was in the hospital for 3 days, and I didn't smoke. And the girl had put a patch on my arm, some cheap shit patch, and it worked pretty good. But then I got home and I couldn't find it. And I wasn't going to use the other kind because they gave me nightmares. So I said, well, fuck it. I'm just going to quit. And every now and then, if I got an urge, I would go get one of them cigars I was talking about with Mike. And usually I'd chew on it. I wouldn't even smoke it. I'd just chew on it. And after about 2 years, I just didn't want them anymore. But I'm going to say it's not easy. Linda had a hard time quitting. Everybody I know had a hard time quitting. It's not, they're so addictive that it's just not an easy thing to do. It's just not. Nicotine is a seriously addictive thing, and it's hard to get off. It's hard to get off of.
I never really inhaled the cigarettes I smoked. I like puffing them. I like the action. I like having it with a drink sometimes and whatever. I worked in the bar business. It was very popular to smoke and constantly put them out. But cigars I really enjoy. I don't smoke a lot of cigars, man, but I get these cigars that are from a plantation down South America, hand rolled. They're Cuban seeds, which is kind of cool. And then they're also dipped in cognac. It's just really a nice smoke, But you don't inhale those, you know what I mean? So when I quit smoking cigarettes, they hit $2 a pack, $2.15 actually. And I was like, I'm not paying for it, man. And now they're like, I don't know, what do they cost now? $12, $13, $14 for a pack of cigarettes?
Crazy.
Can I ask you guys a question? And I do not understand, why are Cuban cigars illegal?
Oh, because it's a trade thing with the Cuban
politics.
Now, I've smoked Cubans on a couple occasions. There was a place in Fast City called Impastados, which is a little Italian restaurant, and one of our owners used to take us there as a thing for Christmas every year, and they always had Impastados, but they were $200 a piece, and they were good cigars. I'm not gonna lie, it was a good cigar.
Oh, yeah.
And it had a nice mellow flavor to it. I mean, it was good.
You want that big El Presidente, man. You know what I mean?
Get a nice
Big,
warm cognac in your hand and a cigar.
I like what the Italians smoke up here in Pittsburgh. The really black looking ones. Them black looking ones, man.
A little Denably.
Yeah,
but I had Cubans. This guy I know, Bill. His family owns a 6th generation lightning rod business. So he does lightning rods for Disney and NASA, like all these places, and also Guantanamo Bay. He goes down to Guantanamo Bay, he himself, and then he brings back Cuban cigars, but he's got to pay the fee. It was like, at that time, it was like $40 a piece, something like that, whatever. But that's where I got my Cuban cigars from.
Cubans are like anything else. It's who you get them from, where you get them from.
They're nice.
You can get a good one, you can get a bad one. It's like certain types of food. I mean, sometimes
you go online.
Because down here they have cigar shops, and if you go in and sweet talk the guy, he'll give you one of the Cubans. But
they do hand roll too, don't they? I mean, they'll make them for you in a lot of these places.
Yeah. But it always depends on which part of the
order, though. They have to dry somewhat after they roll it for a day or so.
The tobacco,
yeah.
But I deal with this company called Thompson's, like they own plantations, and they have just amazing deals. They have like a mix match. You can get all kinds of stuff. You can buy like a humidor. They'll like throw a humidor in. You spend an extra amount of dollars, and whatever. It's just a nice.
And there's so many different ones you can get. But the guy at Epistados, he had a connection down there. These were all really rich people that came in this restaurant, so he wasn't going to disappoint them. So it was always a good cigar. We had them a couple times in. We had them down at the Bicycle Club in the French Quarter. They hung out. But my favorite, still my little brown ones. My daughter gets me in a little wooden case. I love them little fuckers, man. And still today, even chew on them today when I get them. But I'll smoke one every once in a while. But when I'm wearing a gun, I'll smoke one.
I could. That's sick. What's the name of your song? Six Gun Joe or something?
That's right. You're shooting your ass out. I told a friend of mine the other day. I said you need to change that to 31 gun Joe. He's like, God damn, Joe, you just plan on shooting up the planet, man.
So I mean, they have all kinds of deals. I've been dealing with guys for like 25 years. I think something like that.
There's a couple in New Orleans. There's a couple of good cigar shops, just like there are coffee shops, but not here in Mississippi so much. They're not really big into cigars up here. Some guy tried to give me a strawberry cigar. I was like, well, what?
Hey, Heidi.
I don't want no strawberries. I don't want no flavored cigars. Just give me a damn cigar.
You know what's nice though? You get the sampler, and then you really get to experience what you want, what you might like,
But you always run to the one you like the best.
Yeah, there's so many, man. I mean, like it's such, but they own their own plantations and they've been in the business forever. And you know what? They're kind of the Walmart of cigars, I guess. But but they're good smoke, though.
Walmart no longer sells cigarettes anymore.
I can't deal with cigar smoke. I can't even deal.
A lot of people can't. A lot of people think it's disgusting and nasty, and you know what? To be honest with you, when sometimes I can't take it. I'm like, get the fuck out of here with that nasty smell and shit. But then if I'm smoking it, no, I like it. So you figure that one out, man.
If you have a nice whiskey or a cognac,
a good cognac, man, or a good cigar. Oh yeah,
smoke that cigar. That's some stuff right there.
Heidi says Wally World does sell ciggies.
Good.
Yeah, nothing like a good cigar with a good cognac. That's for sure.
Come on, what's that? It just see when I see somebody doing that reminds me, and this is my opinion. This is the way I look at it. That they try to act sophisticated, something back in the 1800s, where the men used to go to a room, smoke a cigar, and talk about, all their wives and shit. Man, I don't know. I don't think it's really cool.
That's not really what a cigar is for. I mean, you can use that for that too. But even back in the day, back then, they smoked them for other reasons. Like, might be a mafia guy standing there, get ready to blow out your bars. He would rip off his cigar, spit it in your face before he shoots you. It's all. I'm sorry, Christopher, but there's then some people just like the taste of them.
Really?
And you know what? Yes, it's like I do. If I'm sitting somewhere, like at the bicycle, it's nice to get out there.
You're coming out muted, Joe.
Yeah.
Well, what the hell's
you gotta
going on?
dedicate time
you
to
okay, Jay?
Yes, better.
You gotta dedicate time to
Jay,
a
are
cigar.
you okay?
You can't
Yeah,
smoke
I
it and put it out.
couldn't hear Joe. He's fine now.
Yeah, he's good.
That's weird.
You can't just smoke a cigar and put it out and light it again. So it's a one-time deal. You got to light it, smoke it, be done with it. And it's time, 40, 50 minutes, an hour, if you want to really pump that thing.
And that's why I like to sit there. Like, I'll go out to the beach and sit and smoke one. But I want something to drink with it, either cognac or a nice warm whiskey. Maybe some Van Winkles.
I smoke one going down the road with a big fat mafia guy, man. You know what I mean? With my big... Look at people all slant-eyed in traffic. The fuck you looking at, eh? Smoke my cigar.
Oh my God, Mike, you just sounded like Andrew Dice Clay there.
The Dice Man.
Can you
That guy
imagine?
just sound like him. He was a funny dude. Very
Can
politically
you,
correct dude.
can you imagine him doing this comedy in today's world?
He's still out there, believe it or not. He's old now, but he's out
Yeah,
there.
he's not as funny though.
You know, Deborah Harry's 81 years old, man. Do you know
Doesn't that
that?
freak you out?
Oh my God, dude, we're getting old. What the hell?
Yeah.
Yeah, we are. Yes.
Deborah Harry.
Yeah, I don't know. I was going to say,
nice at beach and you get
everyone had
sand in your crap.
her in the 80s. I guarantee you, every one of us did. She's
No,
81
no
years old.
doubt. She
Shame
was
on us,
hot.
yes. It
She
finishes
was hot.
about a
She
60
was,
grandmother.
You know, if you really look at her and you're like really desperate, she still looks hot,
She was aloof, had that blonde hair. You know what I mean? Kind of popped around.
Kind of why she got the nickname Blondie.
She's a little on that
Same
side,
way with
too.
Pat Benatar. Oh my God. She a queen. She was hot.
Yeah,
Pat Benatar? Hell yeah.
Pat Bender was hot, yeah.
I didn't like too many musician chicks back in the day, man. I mean, I hung around a couple. I worked for a guy who used to work for an agency, and he handled all the, he was a talent agent, and then he owned clubs in the city. But so he handled Carly Simon, and Carly used to come into the club all the time. She had such a great voice, and I liked her. I thought she was pretty cool. And then in my hometown, we had Joan Jett. She would hang out 7-Eleven, 2 o'clock in the morning with us. She would smoke cigars, by the way. We'd be there in that game room smoking. The dude who worked there didn't give a crap. You know what I mean? And then we'd be playing Pac-Man and also Pole Position. Remember Pole Position?
Yes. Yes.
We put a lot of quarters. And I thought, it's Joan Jett, she's just chilling out with us. You know what I mean? Like, why not, man?
That's cool. That's cool when they can do that. You know what I mean? Like, just be one of the people. One of
You know what's really
what I mean?
cool? You know what's even cooler, dude? About 10 years later, I was an
If somebody
entertainment
try to
writer.
beat her up.
I was an entertainment writer on Long Island for Good Times Magazine. I reviewed one of her shows and then went backstage. And I said, you remember we used to play video games at 7-Eleven? She's like, oh my God. She's like, started laughing and shit, man. It's kind of cool how you catch up to people sometimes.
Yes, absolutely. Foxy says Susanna Hoffs from the Bangles.
The whole Bangles, the whole band. They're all
Yeah.
all of them. Every last one of them was
They're
beautiful.
all kind of cute, yeah.
The whole Bangles, man. Walk like an Egyptian.
Yeah.
Hey, them weirdos. Yeah, I didn't listen to them weirdos. I was like,
Who was the lead singer for Katrina and the Waves?
I was
What's her
playing
real
way
name?
more.
Trina.
She was hot.
Jay knows. Jay's our trivia guy.
So,
Well, no, I'm sure it's Katrina, but I don't know what the last name is.
She's hot. They were all hot back then, I think.
Yeah, I think they were.
Olivia, believe it or not, Olivia Newton-John was hot back then. Do you see her daughter? Oh my God, she's a knockout.
Yeah.
yeah,
Katrina
I met
Leskinich,
Olivia.
Kimberly Rue, Vince De La Cruz, and Alex Cooper. So it wasn't an all-girl band after all.
No. Okay.
I like
Yeah.
Amy Winehouse, man. Amy Winehouse, she's a little, I mean, she's not olden days, but she had just a voice and about her style and everything about her. I mean, she's cute too and all that, but I mean, just like everything about her was pretty amazing. It's too bad she burned out like that.
Yeah.
happens to a lot of them, man. Just
It does. It's a hard
Yeah.
business, man. When I was a writer, when I was in the club business, I didn't see it as much because you're busy. You know, you're busy like the workings and mechanics of a club, which you know the bands are kind of the extra. You know, because you have a whole bunch of other stuff going on. But like when I was a writer, and then you actually get backstage and you're seeing the whole everything how it's all put together. But the band itself, what they're kind of a lot of them don't even know where the hell they are, man. Like what city they're in. You know, I hung out with both Edgar Winter and the other one. They were both on tour together.
Okay.
They came through Sundance, and then I was on their tour bus. At first, they thought I was security because I'm 6'5", 300 pounds, and they're like, he's got to be the security guy, right? And I just kind of follow people. I can't tell you how many shows I've seen because of that. How many people I've hung out with because they thought I was like the security dude. But then they learned who I was, and I was like, no, I'm a writer. I'm good times here. And we hung out, dude. I mean, Johnny Winter, both of those guys are awesome. They were so cool. You know, so Johnny Winter took a jar of mayonnaise, and he threw it into the wall of the club, like in his dressing room. He was all pissed or drunk, or whatever he was. Threw it. We left that thing in that wall, and that I think probably to this day it's probably still there. But that was Johnny Winter. He signed it even when he came back through.
Piece of shit. So
Good
what the hell
story.
is this, man?
You know what? Those were good days, dude. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, and you could get away with it, and no one really cared.
Nobody cared. Nobody cared. We were crazy. We were out of control. We did what we did. I mean, you stayed under the radar, so the cops didn't mess with you, and you just you go
See,
back.
now your grandchildren are out causing trouble because you didn't raise them right. See, that's
I
exactly
don't have
what
any
happened.
kids. Can't blame me. I got no kids. Can't
Yeah,
I'm
blame.
like, son, I got no fucking kids. Don't
You
put that
ever-
shit on me. Man.
Do you ever see those pictures on Facebook where people post like four girls from the 70s standing next to a car, and the guy
Yeah.
goes, "You know what? Your grandmas were hot back then." Yes, they were. But you know
Yeah,
what?
they were.
Fonzie Joe said the 80s was his formative years, all gorgeous women everywhere. But Joe, you had to be careful where you lit a cigarette, man, because all that damn hairspray they had in their head.
Well, you know, you
God
blow
only
somebody's
knows
ass
they've
up.
gone up.
You're laughing. In our club, in the girls' bathroom, there was like 11 stalls or whatever. All the girls would be in there at once doing their hair. There was so much hairspray that we had a rule nobody was allowed to light a freaking cigarette. You could smoke in clubs back in those days, you know. So
Yeah.
you know, nobody was allowed to light the match. It was crazy, man. Crazy, but yeah, that thing could blow up, dude.
Oh
All
yeah,
that hairspray.
those were the days. Oh, I could tell you some stories.
I like that smell though, man. I like the smell of suntan lotion too, the Hawaiian Tropic. Like,
Oh yeah, yeah.
it's a sexy smell. It reminds me of the beach and just all that. I don't know, suntan. It's fun, man.
That's it. You're off the drugs, man. I'm officially taking you off the fucking
Ain't
drugs.
that-
That's it.
Sparky said, "Do you remember trying to kiss a lady in the '80s? Like it was hard not to mess up the hair."
Oh yeah.
Oh well. Yeah.
That probably got for boys too, because that's when Moose came out and everybody was using Moose. Everybody had that goddamn plastic hair. You know, when you crunch. Yeah.
I remember that, dude. I used to use it, man. Stiff
Yeah, I
stuff.
did too. Everybody did.
Remember stiff stuff? That thing was like a
How
helmet.
about,
It was like a
how about
helmet.
when your mom and your sisters would wear Aquanet? Do you remember that?
Oh
Aquanet.
no, the stuff we
The
had-
gel. It was the
way
gel
better than
stuff
Aquanet.
that they put in there.
Yeah.
Oh God, it was crazy.
The Moose we had, it's like Michael said, it made your hair plastic, like a helmet. I mean, you could like bash open doors with it.
Yeah, it was funny, man.
You know, I need to say this. I wanted to say it last night, but I was too tired. But I was watching, you know, a 4th of July special on PBS, and they had all kinds of patriotic things, and everyone was happy and all laughing and dancing. And I turned around and I looked at my mom and I said, "Look at these people." I mean, I said, "Mom, what really irritates the shit out of me is that we have a lot of people out there that disrespect the United States, disrespect the flag." And I'm thinking, my God, And that's what gets me really mad when I watch something like that. It just pisses me off that people at least
Shut up, dog.
acknowledge America. I'm done ranting.
Oh no, you're right, because there's things that we got to deal with, like Omar screaming how she hates America, sleeping with her brother, but yet she's a congresswoman. How in the fuck does that happen? There needs to be rules, and there needs to be, look, if you don't know certain things about our country, if you can't go through the Constitution, you shouldn't be a congressperson. I mean, really, to be in Congress, you should know the Constitution. We shouldn't be in Congress, because how can you defend my rights if you fucking don't know what they are?
Right.
You know, I mean, you have to know what they are in order to defend them. It just pisses me off beyond belief. But, oh, you know what? Speaking of that, there was something I wanted to play. Y'all gonna, oh, well, we're going to be letting Mike go here pretty soon. So I guess we'll just play this out, let this play out, and we'll close out right now and let this song play. It's not a song. It's, no, we got to come back and talk about it for a minute. So anyway, it's 10 minutes long, guys. So take a long little break. It's a Jim Mescaline fucking shit. Jim Mescaline clip I wanted to play.
Mescaline.
Yeah, it's Declaration of Independence and 61 Celebrity Voices by master impersonator Jim Mescaline. This guy's pretty good. I've heard him a few times. It's 10 minutes and 23 seconds. So let me find out where the hell I am, so I can find out where the hell it is. See, this is why I can't move this, man, because somebody else I'd have to get mad at. Let's see. Sorry, that was a personal thing Mike and I were talking about earlier. It's okay, where the fuck am I? There I am. There we go. Look at, there we go. All right, let me make the screen big. Hopefully this is good. Okay.
You use the space bar to play and pause.
Here, you ready? Why is there all these little breaks in here?
This is a commercial thing.
Oh, come on. They're going to have 8 commercials.
Of independence. When in the course of a human event, it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another,
and to assume among the powers of the earth that separate and equal station which the laws of nature and of nature's God entitle them, our decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights.
It doesn't sound like Morgan Freeman.
These are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. That whenever any form of government
You put the names up too soon.
destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish it
friends at all.
and to institute new government.
See? Mark.
Laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness.
Prudence indeed will dictate that governments long established should not be changed for light and transient causes. And accordingly, all experience hath shown that mankind are
I'd like to
more
fiddle with you,
disposed to
father.
suffer
while evils are sufferable, than to right themselves by abolishing the forms to which they are accustomed.
But when a long train of abuses and usurpations, pursuing invariably the same object, evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government and to provide new guards for their future security.
Such has been the patient sufferance of these colonies, and such is now the necessity which constrains them to alter their former systems of government.
The history of the present King of Great Britain is a history of repeated injuries and usurpations, all having in direct object the establishment of a absolute tyranny over these states.
To prove this, let facts be submitted to a candid world. He has refused his assent to laws, the most wholesome and necessary for the public good.
He has forbidden his governors to pass laws of immediate and pressing importance, unless suspended in their operation till his assent should be obtained. And when so suspended, he has utterly neglected to attend to them. He has refused to pass other laws for the accommodation of large districts of people, unless those people would relinquish the right of representation in the legislature.
A right inestimable to them and formidable to tyrants only.
He's called together legislative bodies at places unusual, uncomfortable, and distant from the depository of their public records, for the sole purpose of fatiguing them into compliance with his measures.
He has dissolved representative houses repeatedly for opposing with manly firmness his invasions on the rights of the people. He has refused for a long time, after such dissolutions, to cause others to be elected, whereby the legislative powers, incapable of annihilation, have returned to the people at large for their exercise.
The state remaining in the meantime exposed to all dangers of invasion from without and convulsions from within.
He has endeavored to prevent the population of these states, for that purpose obstructing the laws for naturalization of foreigners,
refusing to pass others to encourage their migrations hither, and raising the conditions of new appropriations of lands.
He has obstructed the administration of justice by refusing his assent to laws for establishing judiciary powers.
He has made judges dependent on his will alone for the tenure of their office and the amount and payment of their salaries. He has erected a multitude of new offices and sent hither swarms of officers to harass our people and eat out their substance.
He has kept among us, in times of peace, standing armies without the consent of our legislatures.
He has affected to render the military independent of and superior to the civil power.
He has combined with others to subject us to a jurisdiction foreign to our Constitution and unacknowledged by our laws.
Giving his assent to their acts of pretended legislation.
For quartering large bodies of armed troops among us, while protecting them by a mock trial from punishment for any murders which they shall commit on the inhabitants of these states,
for cutting off all our trade with all parts of the world,
for imposing taxes on us without our consent,
for depriving us, in many cases, of the benefit of trial by jury,
for transporting us beyond seas to be tried for pretended offenses,
for abolishing the free system of English laws in a neighboring province, establishing therein an arbitrary government,
and enlarging its boundaries, so as to render it at once an example and fit instrument for introducing the same absolute rule into these colonies.
Everybody's leaving.
For taking away our charters, abolishing our most valuable laws, and altering fundamentally the forms of our government,
for suspending our own legislatures and declaring themselves invested with power to legislate for us in all cases whatsoever. He has abdicated government here by declaring us, well, out of his protection and waging war against us. He has plundered our seas, ravaged our coasts, burned our towns, and destroyed the lives of our people. He is at this time transporting large armies of foreign mercenaries to complete the works of death, desolation, and tyranny, already begun with circumstances of cruelty and perfidy scarcely paralleled in the most barbarous ages,
and totally unworthy of the head of a civilized nation.
He has constrained our fellow citizens, taken captive on the high seas, to bear arms against their country, to become the executioner of their friends and brethren, or to fall themselves by their hands.
He has excited domestic insurrections, amongst us, and has endeavored to bring on the inhabitants of our frontiers the merciless Indian savages, whose known rule of warfare is an undistinguished destruction of all ages, sexes, and conditions.
In every stage of these oppressions, we have petitioned for redress in the most humble terms.
Yeah,
Our
gonna be
repeated
questions on
petitions
this.
have been answered only by repeated injury.
A prince whose character is thus marked by every act which may define a
Okay,
tyrant
how long do we got on
is
this?
unfit to be a ruler of a free
I'm
people.
already brain dead.
Nor have we been wanting in
Namely,
attentions
that's
to
the
our British
Declaration of
brethren.
Independence.
We have warned them from time to time of attempts by their legislature to extend an unwarranted jurisdiction over us.
We have reminded them of the circumstances of our immigration and settlement
They
here.
get
Hello?
players.
Didn't you get the Thanksgiving e-card? I sent it.
There's gotta
We
be
have
a
appealed
reason.
to their native justice and magnanimity, and we have conjured them by the ties of our common kindred to disavow those usurpations, which would inevitably interrupt our connections and correspondence.
I'm the only one that thinks he sucks.
To,
then
you know,
I'll
the
just
deaf to
mind my own
the
business.
voice of justice and consanguinity.
Yeah.
We must
I'll mind
therefore
my own business.
acquiesce in the necessity
What
which
he's
denounces our separation and hold them, as we hold the rest of
He did.
mankind, enemies in war, in peace, friends.
We, therefore, the representatives of the United States of America in General Congress, assembled, appealing to the supreme judge of the world for the rectitude of our intentions,
God.
do, in the name and by authority of the good people of these colonies, solemnly publish and declare
that these united colonies are and of right ought to be free and independent states.
that they are absolved from all allegiance to the British Crown, and that all political connection between them and the state of Great Britain is and ought to be totally dissolved, and that as free and independent states, they have full power to levy war, conclude peace, contract alliances, establish commerce,
and to do all other acts and things which
Yeah, you better do
independent states
Picard,
may of
buddy.
right do.
and for the support of this declaration, with a firm reliance on the protection of divine providence, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor. A great document, no matter who says it. Happy 4th of July.
Yeah, you need not to say it like that there. It's anyway. I was trying to see which ones he does. He does some good ones, he does some not so good. I guess when you're doing 61 in a row, it's kind of hard. Jackie, that's Jim Mesclin. He's pretty famous. He's done quite a few books, audio books. I gotta say, he's done some awesome, outstanding audio books. Yes, but he's not doing he's doing different characters. He's not doing people. These are made up characters he's doing in the audio books. They're really, really good. I listened to one on Mission Earth. It's 10 books. It's 50 hours. He's in 8 of them. He does a fabulous job. He plays the bad guy, the protagonist, and he plays a pretty sleazy bad guy, I have to say. But it's I've heard him do some other stuff. He did when I was in LA. He did The Bad Man. Him and his daughter. It was really good. It's one of those things. No, people, that was the Declaration of Independence. We had to play it somehow on a network over the weekend. We always do every year, but so we just did it that way instead. Yes. What do you mean the Constitution? It would take hours. No, it would take hours, literally hours. It would be like 4 a.m. before Mike could do his show. No, that's the Constitution is pretty big. I'm just telling you, it's kind of big. It's a lot to read. I mean, I had to read it in the past, but it's kind of big. But we got to get out of here because we got to let Mike have his time. He should already be on air. Who? Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna say this kindly, like I always do every night. Any moans, groans, bitches, or complaints, write to Michelle DeRoche. I'm not going to tell you how to get it. Look her up online. Yeah. Because if you're not on a personal list, you have no fucking business talking to her. How's that? I know I just told you that's the thing. So, no, we're not saying you can't complain. Complaining to me is a waste of time. These guys will tell you it's a waste of time. If you're going to complain, you got to complain to Michelle DeRoche. She's the manager of the station. She's the boss lady. She does the hiring and firing. So
It's
that's
like
what you gotta
missing in the wind. You know what I mean?
it's talking to me though. I'm just going to probably laugh at it. Unless it's something really, really serious. I'm going to probably laugh. Now, if it's something, other certain things related, you can talk to me. But stuff like what you're talking about, no. Talk to. On that note, we got to go. Good night. Tell
Good
everyone.
night, everybody. Good night.
Tuning in to United Public Radio. Don't forget to come see Sean twice a week. He's over there. He strips on Tuesdays.
Yeah,
He
but
does.
on Sunday I'm a priest.
See that? He strips on Tuesday and priests on Sunday.
Stay
Yeah,
tuned
check
for
it
Michael Angley Live.
Yes, he'll be on probably about 5 or 8 minutes. And don't forget, Jay is on with Jeffrey from time to time on Church of Maybes. Yeah, for sure be checking him out. On that note, if y'all don't know who I am by now, I don't even know what to say.
Good night,
On that note,
Jason.
good. You can come see me all over the place. Good night, and we'll see you soon. Well, I'll see y'all on Wednesday.
Have a good
night.